Here we are with another Saturday Night Live Zoom no more. It's Friday Night Live Zoom. Moving into the 2021, the first day of the year. And this is going to be the best year ever. You know, we are the change.
God willing.
We are the change. And, there's no other direction but making it better. You can't get any worse than where we are.
I don't know about that one.
Worse, trust me. Do you want to see worse? Is this what you're asking?
We're not asking that. I'm making a statement. We're not getting. We can't get any worse.
Maybe you haven't seen enough.
It's been very interesting, and make a disclaimer here. Starting off, things we talk about are not in mainstream science agreement, and today's day and age, it seems like critical thinking is illegal.
Greatly frowned upon.
Greatly frowned upon. So we are critical thinkers, open mind, and we're using our souls as guides to expand our awareness. And we're going to hear, talk about things that most people will probably not agree with. So viewer discretion is highly advised for anybody who tunes into these conversations. And I hope that more people will choose to keep their minds open to critical thinking and allow that awareness to open and expand through the soul, because the soul is all knowing, and there's nothing that it needs to be taught because it's all part of creation. So when we allow that marvelous energy to work with physicality, it's amazing what happens. So we're in very difficult, challenging times right now, and we need to be the change and really focus on being that change, and more than ever allow that plasma love always flowing to really keep that pace consistent, persistent, and be committed in that lifestyle, feast, balance, correct conduct, because as we've been talking about for 5 years, what other alternatives are there? Do we want to keep going down the road we're going right now? I don't want to be going down this road. People are going cuckoo. Nobody's able to see each other's smiles anymore, hug each other anymore. You think that's not having an effect on people? You're damn right it is. And the biggest effect, the biggest losers will be our children and grandchildren that are going to be affected by this craziness, this political medical tyranny that's upon us right now. And there's a lot of people waking up. There's actually some police organizing up here that are saying, what did we sign up for? To hold the Constitution, or to hold up, bullcrap legislation that they keep bringing up that contradicts the Constitution. So there's a lot of people waking up. The challenge is that a lot of people are in fear because of their livelihood. And what does fear do? It makes us humans do things that normally we would not do. If you're backed in a corner, or an animal's backed in a corner, what it's going to do, it's going to fight for its life. And that's the state we're in right now, generally, mostly all over this globe. And some people will call it a flat earth, whatever it is, doesn't matter. We call it the globe because that's what we've been brought up with, and not saying that it's not true, and I'm not saying that the flat earth is not true, but from the knowledge that we've gained in the new understanding. There's no straight lines, and horizon may seem flat, but if you understand plasma, you can see, and light does bend. So that would allow the Earth to be round and make it look flat, is what I'm trying to say. So there's lots of stuff that
it could be somewhere in the middle.
we could could be somewhere in the middle. It could be an egg. I don't know. It could be whatever. Could be what is that? A plate? It's been a while since geometry. Hologram. Yeah. Well, we're living in this hologram. Who's joined us here?
Yeah, so you have Paula's watching, and Sheila Leverton says hello. Happy New Year, everyone.
We got the new year. That's right. Happy New Year to everyone. We are ready for this year. I hope everybody else is. The less is more lifestyle will really help you. I had to watch my mother all day today. There was a caregiver that was supposed to come was sick, so she couldn't come.
Hangover?
No, she was kind of a cold. I mean, she came over on Christmas and with her mask, and I said, don't need a mask here. Oh, thank you. I go, yeah, let go of that book. So there's a lot of people who are wearing them, like I said, because they don't have the knowledge, they're the unalienable rights, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Most people do not want to go out every day and face resistance. Let's face that. Look at just living the master fast lifestyle. There's going to be a little bit of resistance every time you decide to live that lifestyle for that day. There's going to be some resistance because it's not something that we're used to. Not eating and doing, like washing your colon and so on and so forth, and all the things we do, taking herbs. There's going to be a little bit of resistance. So we learn to embrace these new resistances because they make us stronger. Natural resistance to certain things makes us stronger. They are part of our natural way of living. If you look in nature, there's resistance in all the wildlife to varying degrees, including the plants, right? With weather and so on and so forth. So it's just part of the cycles of nature, and it does make us stronger. When you work out to put resistance to a muscle, what does it do? It makes it stronger. When you put resistance to the brain with critical thinking, what does it do? It makes it stronger. When you put resistance to your intent and emotion and being of living in peace, balance, and correct conduct, and doing that at all costs, no matter what, no matter how much resistance you face, what does it do? It makes you stronger. So if we learn to do that on a daily basis and embrace all these little resistances, little by little by little, eventually those little resistances become not so much of a resistance anymore. And then we have the bigger resistances that come around, and those ones there become a little less, and so on and so forth. So that's all it is. It's just doing the same thing, over and over, making that choice to make ourselves stronger, raising our field strength. We like to use those words, raising our field strength, because that's what we understand happens when you are in that natural divine state. And it's a glorious place to be. Eating, we're all experts. 99.99% of people are experts at eating. Growing up, being in an Italian family and stuff with all different friends and so on and so forth. Most of us love to eat. There's a few people that I remember that they would limit themselves in the way they ate. more so than the rest of us. And that was just natural to them, right? And you can see that with people, but for the most part, humans love to eat. we we just love eating, and we love the social aspect of eating with others and so on and so forth, and what that brings forth. That's We are social beings generally, and we love to interact with other people. Um, and that's one thing why some people find it difficult probably to go into some type of meditation or a fasting lifestyle, because these things will bring resistance to something that you're not used to doing normally, and being alone, because you'll find that being in a fasting state alone is much easier than when you're around people, especially when you start fasting. You don't have to put up with all those resistances of who, what, where, when, why, are you doing this, and so on and so forth. It's if we look at the gurus from the past and the spiritual teachers, they all talked about doing it alone, and don't tell anybody what you're doing. And there's a reason for that, right? We're in a group, and we're all doing it for support. That's a different story, but generally out there, it's best to not talk about your fasting. We get excited and so on and so forth. You want to tell the world. I remember when I started, and it just bit me back, over and over and over, until I said, "What's going on here?" Because I thought everybody would be open to wanting to live a healthy lifestyle and heal. But as 30 plus years went by, honestly, most people have no interest at all. The interest has been growing a little bit more and more with people moving towards health, and it's a slow thing, and it's been growing more and more. Generally, more people are interested in health, but the perception of what health is all over the place, and there's people actually sharing things that are quite dangerous to some degrees to your health. But it's the challenge is that we're taught to look at things for immediate results. For example, like taking a drug, pharmaceutical drug, we feel something immediately, right? That's the general thinking of how things are supposed to work when you're moving into a healthy lifestyle. So what people are expecting when they're moving to a healthy lifestyle, when they're taking things, they're expecting that same reaction, immediate reaction, whereas that's not exactly the case. Yeah, you may feel some things happening here and there, but immediate. But the health benefits are what the results will come out after over periods of time, and what you're going to see the true results, meaning like 3 months would be the absolute minimum to start seeing some things happening. Are you going to see things before that? Absolutely, but I mean lasting results. Like the supplement thing. Or taking a laxative, you feel the immediate relief or whatever of that. But taking a supplement, you start seeing changes in the physiology because you're taking the supplements. And yeah, you're going to start seeing changes, because what are you doing when you're taking supplements? You're forcing the body to work with that substance, and it's bringing a change in the environment. So the body has to work with that and creates a change. Whereas when you do the opposite and work with the art of subtraction, the body has no material thing to work with. So it has to create what it needs through the fields. It's a whole different ballgame completely. And that's where you're going to see the magic happen. That's where the soul comes in and says, thank you for allowing me to do my work. And that's it. You don't have to do anything else. You just have to allow. Brittany, you just have to allow. Brittany, you just have to allow. Brittany, you just have to allow. Or you don't have to.
Choose.
We just say, every time that monkey mind comes on, delete, delete, delete. I'm changing the program. Use those simple words. Every time it comes on, delete, and I'm changing the program. And do things to change the program. Or find words that you can relate with that will be the trigger to continue moving in the direction of change. That's all we got to do. I did many things like that, you know, when I started fasting and moving into the veganism and vegetarianism first, then veganism, then raw foodism. So I did many things to help me stay focused. You know, when I decided I wasn't going to eat any more cooked food, I got rid of all my cookware. I just kept one pan for my kids and one so when they would come over because they weren't raw foods. I got rid of it all. I kind of regret getting rid of some of the stuff now. They're like beautiful corningware and glassware and stuff because they're hard to come by these days. And if you find them, they cost a lot. But that's okay, no big deal. But it was, you know, I'm just talking. You got to change the environments, is what I'm trying to say. We need to change our environments because we keep staying in the same environments. Good luck in keeping that direction of change happening. Good luck. It's going to be when we make changes in our environment. Move the, you know, like I talked about this before, change the direction of your bed. You know, face it east if it's not faced beneath, your head pointing eastwards. Change furniture around the room if you can. Yeah, some people won't be able to do that. But I mean, just make some changes. So the old triggers, there's no association to it. Just change things, clean things up, throw things out that you don't need. You know, change your routine of how you do things. Massifast is great at that, right? Whether you're doing the hybrid or where you're doing whatever level with the hybrid and interchanged or whatever, you're going to have to make changes in the timing of things because we have dry cycles and so on and so forth. You're going to have to make changes, right? Because most people are not doing 12-hour, you know, minimum dry windows every day. People are not living with that. Most people would probably get a maximum of whatever hours they're sleeping. They're usually drinking or eating something before they go to bed. And as soon as they wake up, people are just drinking again or, you know, eating something. So we have to change that, right? If we want to live on this type of lifestyle. Because the dry cycles are the utmost importance. Utmost. What the key always is. Go ahead, Shelley.
Thank you for bringing it up. I have a question. Tomorrow's my first 24-hour dry. Mm-hmm. And I know it says in the protocol to start early. And I'm not working tomorrow. So I'm just wondering what's kind of the optimal time to start the dry.
Right now.
Well, I'll do my, so I do my 12-hour.
I'm not saying that to be funny.
Yeah.
For me, I don't drink, I don't consume anything after 6 p.m. Awesome. Ever. So.
Shelley,
I go into a dry, it starts at 6 p.m.
Yeah, when you're starting off, a good thing to keep a rule is like Steve is doing great, nothing after 6. For starting dries, because 24 hours, I'm talking about 24 hours or more. The 12 hours, it's not a big deal. But when you're doing 24 hours or more is the where you want to do it correctly. So anytime, not much later than 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. You know what I mean? You know, if you an extra hour, whatever. But you want time to break it and be able to wash.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
So the earlier you do it, especially when you do the long ones, you don't want to be breaking it at 10 o'clock at night, and then you're gonna be drinking, and then no, you don't want to be doing that. So if you were to, let's say if you were to break it at 10 o'clock at night, do the bubbly, go to sleep, and do the stuff in the morning. That's what I would suggest. You know what I mean? So give yourself that time frame. So we're breaking it with the bubbly. We're waiting, those couple hours of sipping slowly. If we've broken a long one, 3, 5, 7 days or longer, then we're going to take more time. We're going to slow it down before we start washing.
And with the washing, so I've been finding that actually I have to thank Steve. I was watching a video last night, a recording, and Steve, you were talking about this was an old one, but you were talking about the plasma pudding was giving you gas. So that was happening to me. So I cut back on that today, and it's a little bit better. But in terms of the washing, like, is there?
Well, I've had that happen. Absolutely.
Yeah, just ask, the pudding's giving you gas?
Yeah.
I think so.
How much are you doing?
I think I was taking too much.
No, but how much are you doing?
Well, I was doing 4, but now I'm just doing 2.
Oh, you worked all the way up that quick. Yeah, what's happening? The pudding itself will not give
it's what's pulling out.
Yeah, it's because it's drawing. That's why it's drawing stuff out. Because after a while, you're not going to get gas from that.
Yeah.
No, it's dead. It's inert.
Yeah.
Things are working.
It's a very good drawer.
I felt that. Yeah.
Slow
and then,
it down. Like people work them way up slowly to the maximum, and then you'll be fine with it. But don't worry about the gas. Just do more extra washing. It'll
then with the washing, like, I'm finding that there's a lot of residual that stays in there. Is that normal? Like, after I wash?
Yeah, like you don't release everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Yeah, you could spend an hour and a half doing colonics, and there's still stuff in there. You're never going to be able to get it all out. There's 36 feet approximately of small intestine, and then about 5 foot of large intestine. So it's not going to happen.
And that's why you recommend probably doing the washing earlier in the day?
Well, the hour of the bowels, if you look at the Chinese meridian chart they have hours of the different organs and stuff. It's between, is it 5 and 7 in the morning, I believe, the hour of the bowels. If you can do it in that time, it's ideal, I guess, because you work with the cycles of those energies. But doing it early in the day, for people who go to work, for example, let's say they're going to work, especially, let's say if you have diarrhea, it'll help you. It'll help you get through the day easier than having to go through all that during the day and then coming home and washing. You may want to do it twice when you're having diarrhea or something like that. Some people saying, well, I'm already having diarrhea. No, you want to wash more because the body's trying to purge stuff. It's the opposite, right?
Right.
So we just work with that. But I've always liked washing in the morning. Not that I'd never wash it, that I never put myself in a position to wash at night, but in the morning is the time I prefer. And it's the best.
Yeah, I'm opposite. I go at 5 p.m.
5 p.m.
Hmm?
In the evening.
I go in the morning.
Yeah, whatever works. I'm just
like it's like brushing my teeth and washing my face.
Whatever works for you.
It really
I've done them in the evening for a while, and then I switched to the morning years ago. So I've done them both, but whatever can work for you, whatever you make it work. But like I said, sometimes you may want, especially when you're having strong healing reactions, you may want to be doing them twice a day. Some of those, some days it may happen, and that'll help you. If you're just waiting till the evening, then I
did that yesterday and today. My God, I ate. Oh, jeez. I had a salad. What's today? I don't even know what's today. Friday. So Wednesday, I made a salad. And I forgot. I put a little jalapeno in it. I haven't had jalapeno in a while. Oh my God, it killed me. I only had 2 little slices. I can't eat that shit no more. I can't eat that hot. And I was eating those peppers 2 years ago. And I mean, it hurt.
The jalapeno was green or was it red?
Green.
Yeah, don't eat green peppers.
Wow.
Honestly, don't eat green peppers. Make sure they're ripened, and you'll never find a pepper that's ripe that's green. It's always red, orange, yellow, and then there's other colors. There's like the deep purple, almost black. There's never green ripe peppers in that I know of. No. I've had severe problems 2 times. I thought I was going to die with green hot peppers. 2 times. It was, I mean, severe stomach cramping.
Yep.
Then exactly. I had to throw up and diarrhea. It was only green peppers, hot green peppers. So the reason why I'm saying that is because all fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and everything, they all have these inhibitors in them to keep animals from eating them so they can continue to procreate. And the green pepper has a very strong inhibitor. So if you try it with the other ripe peppers, Steve, I'm sure you're not going to have the same issue. It's happened to me twice.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Never happened before.
Because you know, that information was shared with me about the green peppers many years ago, and then I just stay away from green peppers.
Well, my body can't handle even when I used to. I just I can't eat. I can eat raw garlic, no problem. I can't touch that. Can't even touch that.
Yeah, they're strong. They're strong.
Yeah, but the stomach can't. The body don't want it. Just no.
Yeah,
absolutely doesn't want it.
Yeah, you know, you don't have to eat them. I'm just saying
No, that's fine. I'm just saying that's the changes that have happened over the last 2 years. It's fine with me. I don't care.
Yeah, your body's going to be way more sensitive to all that stuff. So,
like I got some fermented garlic that's 1.5 years old. That stuff's really good.
Yeah, the body can handle it.
It's almost black now.
It's black?
Almost.
Is it with the wine?
Fermented in honey and garlic.
Just honey.
Almost, yeah, just honey.
Like 100% honey?
Yeah.
Garlic and honey.
Nothing else.
Just honey. Okay.
Nothing else.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, the body's going to become much more sensitive to everything. That's for sure. And I know, you know, when I just was in the raw foods for a few years, I came to a point I couldn't look at any onions and garlic anymore. It's just, whoa, no way, man.
Yeah, I can't eat onions either anymore.
Yeah, the greens, you can do the greens, but like in the fermented garlic, you can do that, but the fresh garlic and stuff, too hard. Even now, I fresh garlic.
We don't touch it. We don't buy it.
No way. I can't handle it.
Oh, I could pull it right out of the ground and eat it. It's like I tried it last year. I pulled some. I was like, oh God.
Yeah, onions.
No more of that.
You can eat them like an apple.
Yeah. It's all right.
It's yeah. It's, you can eat them in the limitless realms. You can have all you want. Same experience. Only better because you don't have to deal with the material stuff. So go into those places. But where were we at, Shelley? Did I answer your question?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
I guess sidetrack. Sorry about that.
No,
that's all right.
We're here to discuss, and everybody has valid information to share. And I can't be the only one speaking here. But yeah, we'll all go through a learning experience of many different things. And that's the way we will come to the understanding much better through the experience when we do it ourselves. When we hear it from somebody else, yeah, we can have an idea, but we really don't know until we go through that motion and so on and so forth. It makes a big difference. Lisa, how you doing?
Mm-hmm. Hi.
Hi, Lisa.
Well, I'm recovering from a tooth extraction.
Still?
It's actually much, much better today.
Awesome.
So, the funny thing was I ended up at the dentist a couple days ago to say that it had gotten so much worse and can they take a look? So they took a look inside and they said, "Oh, wow, that looks perfect." I said, "Really?"
Here.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's actually feels dramatically different today. So it's interesting.
Is it a molar?
Yeah, it was a back one. I was really fortunate because it came out in one big chunk,
Is it
the
a
whole
deep,
thing.
deep root or a short one?
Oh, yeah, man. Big. You never expect to see that come out. But there was actually some silver left in it.
Wow.
So I had 6 silver fillings and 3 were removed improperly. So my guess is that that was one of the improperly ones, and the guy just left, whatever it was in there. He didn't care.
Was it a root canal?
Oh no, it was just your basic average, cavity filled tooth over the past, it's 25 years old or so.
Yeah.
And it was an interesting experience being there because well, emotionally, you're sitting in this chair and somehow this dentist chair seems like all the other dentist chairs, and you're reminded of being a kid or a young adult and all these other times that you trusted and went to these people and accepted their help, and there you are back again.
Yeah.
And so then they have a look and they have all sorts of ideas about what they can do for you. And
Based on what they've been taught.
yeah. And so, and it's interesting too because I felt a little bit hopeful. Oh, really? You can still put crowns on those? I was thinking you just would yank those out with the other one, kind of thing. And oh no, they want to do crowns and other stuff to my teeth, and I don't really see the point. I just asked if they do dentures.
I did a crown. This was about close to 30 years for this one.
Yeah.
That they want to do a root canal. I says, no way, root canal. Because
I
had the information back then about, all that stuff. There was a book released by a dentist talking about how horrible mercury amalgams were, et cetera, and all the suggestions of what to use. And there was a dentist here in Toronto. She was working according to this book. And she was like 20-30% more expensive than everybody else. So that's where I went at that time. And they said, okay, we'll put a crown. That's all we can do. And I go, okay.
Yeah.
I still have the tooth. I still have the tooth. So that's why I say to people, just try and work with it as best you can. If you're use all the tools to try and keep the tooth. Try and keep the tooth, because there's nothing like your own tooth, even if there's a crown on it. Like I have 5 fillings on my teeth. And I got those all in grade school. I've shared this story before. And over here, when we were growing up in grade school, they gave us free dentistry in school. There was certain days the dentists were there, go in, and they're drilling everybody's teeth.
What a business.
No parents there, no nothing. Yeah.
Wow.
I had all those 5 fillings were from there. I never had anything else after that. And those are the teeth that I've had problems with breaking. Like I just broke this other one. Was it was before, just before the lockdown? I went to last year. Was it? Yeah, when I went to do that tooth. That was pretty old too. It was maybe a 1 or 2 years newer than this crown, and that one just cracked. It was just a filling that I had replaced the amalgam filling, because I'd replaced all the amalgam fillings in the first 2 or 3 years. Once I started a fasting lifestyle, I wanted them out, and I still have all those teeth. And like this one here, this one with the crown, that I had pain on and off on that tooth for years, but I just kept working and working and working with it. Like I said, I still have the tooth. So people freak out about their teeth. Teeth do detox. You know, when people posting their teeth are changing right away and colors, yeah, teeth detox. It's like everything else. Every single cell in the body detoxes. So if you're going to start freaking out, then just continue to eat. Don't live a fasting lifestyle, because your whole physiology is going to change. Your whole mental abilities will change. Your whole emotion will change. Your personality will change. Everything's going to change. Why would you want to be remaining the same? Then just keep doing what you're doing, right? The healthy lifestyle, you want everything to change, because you don't want to live that imbalanced state. So you want to move into the new realm of balance, of moving in the direction of balance. So everything's going to change. But the teeth generally in today's day and age, and it started decades ago, if not more, human teeth are very weak genetically, and we can see it through a fasting lifestyle. That's where many people have problems and challenges right away with their teeth. I remember one guy's teeth were turned to chalk in like about a week. I've never seen anything like that. Like literally, they were just like disintegrating. I'm going, what's that? And of course, he was brought up on pop, chips, and what do you expect? The body's going, I got to get rid of everything. And how do you help that? Well, you use the tools and hope for the best that the body just doesn't completely.
Mine are the disintegrating type.
Yeah, I know you've had many challenges, but
So
you have had the worst though. I've seen people with more challenges, but hey, what do you?
yeah.
You got to work with it, Lisa. What are we gonna do?
I mean, that's why I kept I only took that one out this time now because, I wait till they get really bad and then I just have them taken out. That's pretty much what I'm doing. Unless I go try to get some crowns on the other one, we'll see. The dentist I found is a quote unquote holistic dentist. So they don't do mercury in the office. They do removal if somebody comes in and needs removal. They do it properly.
Right.
They don't prescribe antibiotics. They use ozone.
Awesome.
And and I actually didn't use any painkillers for the whole thing.
Awesome.
Or outside of the Novocaine, that is. But
you did have Novocaine, yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. When I went to do this one, I decided I wasn't going to get any Novocaine, any nothing. And I went in dry fasting. Yeah, you feel it, you feel the pain a little bit, but you just stay focused and focus on something else besides what they're doing. Get through it. And they where I went, they do ozone. I had them do ozone before, and then ozone at the end. And within a few days, it was like nobody worked on the tooth. Not even, the next day already it was. But because I was dry fasting, bang, 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 it healed very, very quickly. It's why we say not to prefer people doing work on their teeth during a fasting, when they're in a fast, is because we've seen, teeth regenerate. if you allow it to happen, like the teeth, like I said before, the teeth will detox. So why go and do some work and then, you know, what the body was trying to heal that area. We don't know how it's going to work. We don't know in the order of things of how the body's going to work. So the teeth is one of the things that you have to be very patient with.
Yeah, I was worried. It started to hurt and it was black, and I was going on a trip.
Yeah.
So I got a little concerned because my other one that I had taken out, I really let it go for as long as I could. But it just really just was blackened also.
Maybe one day we're gonna show how to inject ozone in your teeth by yourself. It's not difficult to do. You don't need a lot of equipment. You need a good ozone generator, medical preferable, but anything that has a good insides, a quartz crystal chamber, ceramics good, and there's what's that other one, Pyrex. There's only a few things that are not prone to ozone degradation, and then everything that's inside the ozone that touches ozone should be either stainless steel or silicone, right? And you shouldn't have any plastics or anything else or other metals. And then you just have to have an oxygen tank, a pure oxygen. I use welder's oxygen because it's easy to get a hold of versus medical grade oxygen. I understand oxygen is oxygen. So for welding, you have to have pure oxygen. There may be impurities, but if you know, the air we breathe has way more impurities than I can assure you than the oxygen they use for welding. So you have to be the one to decide on if that's the right one to use for you, or you want to go the medical route and get the medical. And then you need all the prescriptions and stuff. So I use a welder's supply tank, and I bought one and then just get it filled when I need it. You need a regulator for that has to regulate it goes, I think, 1/16, 1/8 liter per minute, or 1/32, 1/16, 1/8, 1/4, whatever. It goes up to two liters a minute, because you're only going to be using the very small amounts of oxygen flow, which is like an eighth or a quarter in that range for making ozone, for using it for injecting and so on and so forth. But once you have all that, like I do actually have a medical ozone generator where it's got a lure lock where you can put the syringe right into it, and then it fills the syringe up with ozone. But I've also done it before I bought that one with my regular SOTA, my old soda machine. If you understand how ozone flows and how it works, it's not difficult. So you have the hose, and you turn the ozone machine on, let it run for, a few minutes, so it's all flushes everything out. If you also have an air dryer on your ozone machine in line to where the air's coming in, that also helps filter and dry the air, so it makes more ozone, and that really helps as well. Air dryer looks like this. These are ozone air dryers. They're just silicone beads. And if you put one of these on, Steve, you'll make a lot more ozone. They come in different sizes and stuff. From China, I just got these ones. They're not expensive. Amazon, they're like $30, $40. China, you get them like for 10, 15 bucks. But hey, these things are dryers, and once these beads get full of moisture, they start changing color as the moisture gets absorbed into it, and then you take the beads out and you just cook them in an oven, and you keep using them over and over. So yeah, I got some because I'm going to put one on my medical one, and I put one on my old soda. And then I have another cheap one that I bought. It works pretty good. So I have a few of them around. But so, for example, you have the hose coming out with the ozone, and if you want to fill up a syringe, you just put the needle of the syringe inside the hose, and you draw the syringe handle out very, very slowly. So it's the only thing it's going to be able to suck in is ozone, because that's what's coming out of the hose. If the needle is inside the hose, right? And then with the needle, you just inject it in yourself, or get somebody to do it for you. If you, but that would really, really help, especially if you're having issues with what we call outfections, right? The body's trying to purge stuff out, because ozone, there's no bacteria, virus, fungus can live in an ozone environment, right? This is how nature does its cleaning, right? Remember what I said, virus, bacteria, fungus. This is a Nikola Tesla invention, over 100 years old. He invented the ozone machines. It's a miraculous little device that if you know what you're doing with them, there's so much you can do with it. And is it a cure-all? There's a lot of claims with use of ozone. It's not, I don't see it as a cure-all. I look at living a balanced lifestyle through subtraction. But ozone is one of the things, you know, they call it an isolate, but I don't really look at it as an isolate, because it's in a plasmatic state. And it's one of the things that has many, many uses. Like, you know, we've talked about using them to wash your fruits and vegetables, cleaning the air, disinfecting, whatever. You know, if you have odor in your car, throw the ozone in there for a few hours, gets rid of all the odors. I remember a friend of mine used to do fire restoration to get rid of the odors from fire restoration, because it's very, very difficult. And he used to go in with and do with the ozone, big ozone equipment, and also mold in houses. They were deemed to be torn down by the government, and the people were freaking out. And he would go in and solve the problem with ozone. He'd open up holes in the walls all over the house, and just blast the ozone for a couple of days with nobody in the house, and with the fans running and stuff. And then the government would go back in and test, and the mold would be dead. And the stamp for demolish would be removed. How's that? Simple. Ozone. Does ozone work? It works if you know what to do with it. It works if you know what to do with it. Like I said, is it a cure-all? No, but there's much we can do with ozone. And it's a beautiful, wonderful, amazing tool. So that's why we talk about it. Yes. It's a good little tool to have. And
my last experience with hearing about ozone was when we had some paint fumes in the house we needed to get rid of.
right.
And so I was calling around asking about an ozone machine, and every place I asked said how you have to stay out of the house for 24 hours after you do it.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I heard anything about it being toxic or not good to breathe in.
Mainstream science says it's toxic and poison. I think
right.
I shared a story of my friend. He was working with the Canadian military medical team in the 90s when we had a blood scandal up here in Canada with the hepatitis. And they were doing all kinds of tests, injecting ozone directly into tumors and just watching the tumors melt. They were doing tests to clean the blood, right? This was the whole concept of the ozone. And the tests, everything was going beautiful, amazing. It worked beautifully, much better than what the pharmaceutical companies, whatever they were using to clean the blood. And there's no side effects from the ozone. Whereas chemicals or whatever the hell they're doing has big problems with how they clean the blood. So ozone it does a beautiful job. But at the end of it all, our government was talking about how miraculous and amazing ozone was in secret in the military. In the same time period in mainstream, they were talking about how dangerous it was. My friend's got all the articles. Same time period. Anyway, to make a long story short, they ran thousands of tests. They all went beautiful, except he said, I think it was 2 or 3, and they were nothing to do with the ozone. It was human error that was involved. So basically it was 100% success rate in cleaning the blood. And they shut the program down. And he couldn't figure out why until he started doing some digging. The guy, the head of the military, was a freaking criminal. He had shares in the pharmaceutical company that was in contract with the government to clean the blood. So they allowed people to die when there was a solution. And you think you're going to trust your governments? They're freaking criminals, man, to the highest degree. Treasonous freaking criminals. This is a good friend of mine. You don't have to believe it, doesn't matter.
Yeah. So do you think if I got a hold of an ozone generator and ozonated some water, if I swished that, that would be beneficial?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, the colder the water, the more ozone it holds. But when it's really cold, it may be difficult for some people to swish.
Yeah, that would be for me.
Yeah, there's so many things you can do with it, you know. It's incredible. Like, stinky feet, put them in cold, not cold, but warm water. You can use warm water and just run the ozone for half an hour, get rid of the smell. Doing it in shoes, it gets rid of odors, everything. Talking about the houses, I talked about that. One guy was spilled milk on a car seat, and they had it cleaned and everything. They couldn't get rid of the smell. You know, the smell of rotten milk, right? It's really bad. My friend said, "Give it to me. I'll take care of it." Put it in a bag. Ozonated it. Gone. So there's so much you can do with it. So much. With teeth, you're going to have to continuously use the tools, work with it, choose some greens, some wild greens, some herbs, wild herbs, some grasses. Be consistent with that, and continuously massage your gums daily, and all the other things that we have available as tools as far as teeth are concerned.
The dentist wanted to give me a deep cleaning. And I cringe just thinking of that. But she said
cleaning would be okay if you, not as much as they recommend. I think what is every 6 months or something, or every 3 months now. I think they changed it, but once a year, once every couple of years, if you want to do a cleaning, no big deal. Go on a fast, and your teeth become restored very quickly in the dry fasting stage, especially.
Well, she said that it would help remineralize them if she did a cleaning. I don't really see how that's possible.
Sometimes if you have a lot of plaque on it, it's difficult for the body to get rid of plaque. So just think about if we have plaque on our teeth, don't you think there's plaque everywhere else in the body?
Yeah.
Mirrors are a reflection of our bones.
So I can't really imagine anybody touching my teeth because they're so sensitive and they hurt and there's so much enamel missing. So I don't know that I would agree to that. They make it sound really good. Oh, I can get the bacteria out. I can do this for it, but I just don't see how that's not what started my problem. I had perfectly, you know, quote unquote clean teeth, and this stuff started happening. So, yeah.
Perfectly clean teeth, yeah.
You know, did all the things.
Up until what point?
Until they started burning off.
No, when did your teeth started becoming a challenge?
It was
When you changed
kind
your
of after I had my last kid.
yeah, a lot of women after they bear children, they have teeth problems.
So it just started burning and burning in my mouth, and then I started down the road of fasting. Well, I went to all fruits and veggies, and then into juice fasting, and then I had the pieces turned to chalk, just like you said too. And then I started. I mean, it's 4 years ago. Come January, it's crazy, but then I started master fasting, and while I had a lot of things change, the mouth thing didn't change. So that's just been an ongoing situation. So sometimes I don't understand it and why, and you know.
Well, have you been living and loving it consistently?
There's been the bumps, that's for sure, and so
the only time I have challenges a few of my teeth is with food. I never had it with fasting.
Yeah.
Right away, the body's telling you what? Stop eating. That's the first signal on the teeth. And it's a very strong signal.
Yep.
I had all my go loose on me. All my teeth, they went loose on me when I changed. And that took a while. It took over a year before they started strengthening up. Most people be freaking out.
Right. Well, I spent that first year of Master Fast mostly on Master Fast. But I don't know, I guess it's just way down the list, you know. And I'm trying to work within the realm of acceptance of what my body is like. I'm losing most of my hair still, and so it's just trying to learn the impermanence of the physical body too, and accept what that is. But that breeds emotion, and emotion breeds stress.
Every challenge we have in the physicality is emotion attached to it for sure. All weaknesses come to the surface, you know, about the hair and this and that. We've found that many people have had hair loss and gained their hair back better than before. Women especially, they freak out the most when they lose their hair. Yeah, even Sarah, she had, remember she was sharing, but all her hair was falling out. Yeah. But there was
mine fell out before all this. So.
Yeah, well, you're going through it again because you haven't been, you know, living and loving it, as we say. When you're living and loving it continuously and consistently, you're not going to be going through that route because these happen through what? Obstructions, through eating, not through fasting. And people always confuse themselves and they blame it on the fast because they just don't have the understanding. And they don't want to have the understanding. I don't know what it is, but the answers are in plain sight very clearly of what's happening. The challenges come when we eat, not when we fast. The fasting.
What about when you see it in your offspring? You see them with a lack of hair growth.
Yeah, well, it comes from the parents' genetics, right?
Right. So because they don't have the emotion involved.
Why do you say that?
Well, because they have the innocence still. They
have the parents, grandparents, etc., and emotions that they're inherited, and of course they have emotion. Come on, children don't have emotion.
They don't have the same negative and stressful anxiety or those emotions of the adults. They may have, I mean, it depends what they're exposed to, of course, but
they're in a place because they have the trust and faith of the parents to take care of all their things. They don't have to worry about bills and all that. Is that what you're trying to say? They're based in that sense, but they have emotion, mental emotion like we all have. There's no different than we are. And if you can guide them to master their emotions, nothing will stop these children. The problem is that we program them. We program them to make them less capable of doing anything. And it's a hard concept to understand because we all grew up with that. No. So instead of no, yes, you can, but let's do it in this way or that way, or or can you think of a way where it would be safer? Always allow them to use critical thinking and open up that in them instead of shutting them down. So there's always creative ways we can do if we work with it and use our critical thinking so we can allow them to grow and expand as well.
Yeah, that's our playbook generally these days. I started my own homeschool group, so I pick and choose the activities and stuff, and help look really good.
Consistency over and over. That's where we get our freedom from. We're not going to get our freedom from eating. Eating doesn't bring us freedom. I'm not saying it's wrong with eating. Most people are going to continue to eat, but just think about where you came from before you started here. I remember you basically couldn't do much throughout the day.
Right. Yeah.
You started gardening and doing this and doing that and going out. So a lot of things have changed, but then you chose to go back, re-experience the pain and suffering and the misery, right?
Oh yeah, it's a learning experience every time I do go back, every couple weeks or so right now.
Yeah, so this is why we're not promoting doing long fasts for people. We need to be able to stay on something on a week-to-week basis. It has to be part of the lifestyle. It was always a lifestyle thing, but it needs to be more regular. It needs to be part of you. You need to love it on a day-to-day basis of what you're doing. Doing these long fasts and then breaking them horribly, what for? How many times are you going to be able to do that? It's a lot of punishment on everything. Especially, when your personality changes completely and then you want to go back to your old ways, there's going to be havoc happening. And that's what we've seen with some people. So there's no point in that. It's being consistent on a week-to-week basis, getting it done that way. And, unless you've decided you're going to be a liquidarian, you're not going to touch food again. I haven't seen many people being able to do that, but I'm just, you need to be in that place. You need to be, you need to have gone through the ringer a few times to really understand what it is to be a liquidarian, for example. But let me, I just seen this right now. Shelley's got some questions on the teeth again. What is the deal with root canals? Absolutely horrific. They remove the nerve, they kill the tooth, and you can't feel anything anymore. And then you start getting a problem usually from the work they've done, infections or infections, and it causes havoc in people. And there's studies showing that all people that have gotten cancers and many serious diseases that they name are associated to some root canals that people have gotten. So that's one thing that root canals. But why would you want to kill the nerve of a tooth? What are nerves? What are the nerves there for? The nervous system is there as our sensing system. It's there to give us signals. And humans say, oh, we don't need that nerve anymore. This is like in your automobile, you have what they call idiot lights. And the light comes on when there's a problem, if a sensor goes or something. So, okay, the light came on. I don't want to see that light no more. So you take the bulb out, throw it away. And now you don't see the light no more, but you keep driving, and eventually you get a bigger problem because that gave you a signal there was a problem with one of the sensors. So that's the same thing that happens with a root canal. Would never, ever, ever, ever recommend getting a root canal. Pull the tooth. But like I said before, you try and do everything possible to save the tooth. Just try and do everything possible. Take your time with it. Even if you have to go through pain for a year or 2 or 3 years, like I did, who cares? I still have the tooth, but I worked with it and worked with it and worked with it. And I just took the pain. You know what I used for pain? Clove oil. I used a lot of clove oil, and also peppermint oil works. So now we have dry fasting, which I didn't understand the dry fasting back then, but the dry fasting will really help with pain. And with what we're doing, master fasting, cleaning out the GI tract, you're going to get to a place where you're not going to feel pain. Right, Steve?
No pain.
I had one, but it was also a crown, still some tooth there, I believe. So like I said, if you have those, I wouldn't go pull them out. If I had done one, I wouldn't go get it pulled out. I'd work with it, work that area, massage that area, and work with it, learn to feel what's going on in your mouth, and try and keep that tooth as best you possibly can. I've heard of stories of people being able to regenerate root canals. So how far do you want to go? How far do you want to dig? You know, that's what we're talking about. Everything's possible. That's the theme. Everything's possible. Whether you want to believe it or not is irrelevant. We've seen things that are impossible according to.
I believe it all. I believe in all miracles.
Yeah. So Brittany's got her hand up, and she's not here right now. Brittany. But going back to Lisa, does that answer this teeth question, Shelley?
Oh, and then just about your thoughts on mouth guards. Like I'm.
No, sorry, I missed that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can use that tool in the time being, but there's a deeper element of why you're grinding your teeth, right?
Yeah.
There's people
for sure.
once they start detoxification, start digging, they start grinding their teeth because all the weaknesses are coming to the surface.
Yeah.
And these are emotions. There's emotional attachments and why that's
happening.
So, yeah, use a guard to help protect your teeth because there's some cases where people are grinding their teeth completely from just grinding their teeth all. Yeah, so
it's not fun.
No.
I clench. I still do it. I wake up sometimes. Clench.
Yeah, I think
it's really hard because it's really hard to stop clenching because it's in your subconscious at night, And I've been doing it since I was a teenager. That's when I got a mouth guard the first time.
Never mind, you've been doing this since. That's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Once you remove the obstruction, it goes away. So it's what's the obstruction? Well, there's a physical, a mental, and an emotional aspect. There's more, but we talk about the basic three because there's probably infinite. I don't know. So we talk about the basics three. So we work with the physical, trying to remove, those obstructions, and at the same time, the mental and the emotions going with it. And once we've solved that and removed that obstruction, it's going to go away. It has to. You're changing the environment. It's got no alternative. It's going to change, just like anything else that happens. Just like your toe, I think it was you also, your toenail came off and brand new one come in, and many, many other things. At least these things are just, we got to work with it, work with the system, and continue focusing on the solution only, using the tools when we need them. Go ahead, Brittany. What are we hearing today, Brittany?
I'm not going to rehash all the old stuff because everybody kind of knows what I
don't
did.
want to know it. No, we don't want to know.
No.
That's so 2020.
The challenge I'm coming up
is yesterday.
Yeah.
Hindsight.
Like the challenge I'm coming up to right now is that like I want to master fast, and I know that that's like what I want to do. And
why?
I think what I realized is I was like looking at things all wrong because like, so I've got like a bunch of worms. That's fine. Like I know that, but I think the issue is when I was obviously when I'm eating, that's always it'll always bring the problems up. It's like, it feels like they're masked, but they're actually not, and we know that.
You mean they're wearing masks?
They're like little like masked little like parasites. But what happened is at one point, like when I detoxed wrong, or I was doing random things and then like living wrong, it went like systemic, but it like activated, and it's like infected, like all in me, it's like infected. And so everything activates it like at random times. And so if I like clear and remove the obstructions, that does go away. But what I know that I've struggled with, and I realize this about my personality, is that if I'm in like an environment, if I'm like already like my nervous system is very unsettled and very like fight flight all the time, and I'm in an environment like where a lot's going on and it's like a lot of like sounds and like just like if the environment's not conducive to the place that I want to move into when I'm master fasting, like my body reacts to that like in an almost automatic response. And it got to a point where I started numbing it, because I did that at my parents' house too. And I realized that I've done this is like when I feel like if I don't either like leave, change my environment, change my mentality, and move into the direction I want to go, and I internalize like the lower vibrations and everything like that, I will go down with everything else around me, and I will go into the old ways of what everyone's doing so that I don't have to feel the pain. And I have to feel it later. It's going to have to come back up. And I know that. But it got to a point where I hurt myself out of allowing myself to go in a direction that I knew my soul didn't want me to go. And now it's at a point where we don't, ideally, I know on Master Fast, we don't drink water, but for water, for me, like, it's at the obstructions are so much that like I will hold on to water for a long time, and then I'll urinate a little bit, and it's clear, I'm not filtering, but there's like, I can feel in my colon and in my GI tract that everything's very swelled and expanded, and it's very mucousy and infected and like very fungal. And then there's like the pathogens inside there. It's like the plaque and stuff, but it's infected.
What's your focus? What's going to change?
It's like I go back and forth. The reason it's like I'm like, oh, I'm going to master fast, but there's also a part of me that has resistance, and I don't think it's like my soul. It's not my soul. It's the state of my body. And then it's also this like feeling like my body doesn't know if it's ready to master fast. It wants to like do something first to move things a little bit so that when I go into master fasting, I at least feel like I'm safe and I'm not so reactive to everything.
Who put this information that your body's not ready for master fast? Who gave you that information?
I think, yeah, when we last talked about it, it was channelers, people, even some people who had done master fast before who were like telling me from their viewpoint. But I know that when I meditate and go into my soul, I'm like, yeah, but I can do herbal enemas, this and that. I can make master fast work. And I know that I can. So I don't need to listen to people. It's more like I have to get out of the way of my mind and then be willing to actually, once I start, like, know that with what I have like encased in there, a lot's going to come up. And when I start clearing out, it burns and it hurts. And the pathogens I have like are very like aggressive for whatever reason. And it scares me a little bit, but I think a lot of it is my environment. I'm trying to figure out, like, I want to stay where I am, but then I'm also asking myself,
you've been talking, and you're starting to go back to 2020 again.
Yeah. I'm asking myself, am I staying in my environment because I'm with somebody that I care about very much? And at the same time, if something doesn't feel right to my soul, I'm trying to decipher, like, is it because of the state my body's in? And then as I get in a rhythm with master fast, I'll handle my environment better. Or is my environment, is it really that simple where it's like, it's good for me?
The thing about people,
too much mind.
Go ahead.
Too much mind.
Yeah. The thing about listening to people telling you that the body's not ready for it, I've guided thousands and thousands of people, and we've seen the most butchered and the most challenged, and people coming from complete sad diets do master fast. What they did after is the different story, but everybody has the same basic operations, bodily function operations that are based on the principles of nature and the universe. So for somebody to tell you that your body's not ready, that's their ignorance. Don't let that rob you of your unalienable, unlimitless of divine source.
Another thing you want to keep in mind is that many people have done level 7 when they were not ready for it.
Exactly.
And,
and that's what I sometimes wonder. Sometimes I feel like I'm not prepared and grounded for once I start. I look at my environment. I'm like, okay, am I really set up? Am I focused? And do I have enough like quiet time with myself? Am I really prepared to do the master fast and all the emotions that are going to come up with it? And sometimes I'm not sure, but I want to just do it.
We are against you doing level 7.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
I do.
2 to 3 max.
And like this,
how many weeks have you done level 2 or 3? Tell us that.
Oh, I never did level 2 or 3.
Well,
I would do like level like 7 for like 3 days, and then my ego would get involved, and I would just.
Once you do it, then we can talk.
What are we doing, Brittany?
Well, then
we're going around in circles
you're just
again.
preparing, right? So
we don't want to be going around in circles anymore. This is 2021, and this is going to be the best year ever.
God, right?
And
Brittany, join me on level 2, 3. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
We can do it together.
Right, Shelley, no excuses. Just go for it.
You just got to make your decision.
Just go for it.
And do it no matter what.
I know I just
talking
do it
to people.
Thing is,
I just need to do it because like there's something
That's a great song, by the way.
There's like something going on with my small intestine and colon where it's like I have like, diarrhea or urges to release and everything is coming out and moving, but it's like all stuck and it's like, and then it hurts really bad. Like it burns.
Yeah, it's burning because it wants to come out. It's purging.
Yeah.
So what do? We clean it up.
But it doesn't come out. Like it stays in my body like that. So I know that I need to like jump in and just start washing and do whatever I can to actually allow it to be able to come out.
But if you're not doing any master fasting, you're not going to loosen anything up.
No, probably not.
So you're just.
What do you mean? Probably not. It's a year you've been
going
telling
around in circles. That was a great
Yeah.
song, by the way. Remember that song? Gonna go
Which
around
one?
in a circle.
Oh, yeah.
But then somebody told me who was going through something similar, like with how bad I let like the overgrowth get, like there were medications that I had that I didn't want to take, like I was nervous about hurting my body, but they were like anti-parasitic like drugs, and someone went through something and they took
Everything
one and then
talked about in the
it
last
was great.
has nothing to do with master fasting. I'm sorry.
So
Nothing.
So let's say you have done mistakes in the past. Everybody has. Then
Mhm.
What's the solution? It's time to think about, okay, I mean, because you're really thinking so much about the master fast, but not doing it yet. So what are the solutions? Start thinking solutions. It's enough with the problems.
We've tried to give you all the guidance we possibly can, but you
It's okay.
followed
You
absolutely nothing.
You'll just have to sit
No, but
down.
you followed absolutely nothing of our suggestions.
It's all right. It's all right. It didn't work, right? Our advice did not work. Now, sit down.
But it also wasn't like I didn't carry it out for like long enough. And sometimes when I realized like that it became really infected and it was bad, like I thought to myself, maybe I do need to take a medication to get it under control, but I didn't do that. And I think I was scared. And that's what I have to get over, is like, even if it's not like at first, if it's not the master fast, I need to do something rather than feed it.
This is why we keep saying MFS is here when you are ready. If you want to go play in all those other things that you've been playing with this last year, you can continue to do that. But there's no reason for you to be here. We don't want to hear any of that stuff. We are at master fasting realm.
That's what I feel like, is like I kind of just let that stuff go, because
all your posts have just confused all members. That's all they've done.
It's okay. It's all right.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna start a new one, right?
Yeah, like at the beginning of the year, it's just going to be a new thread.
Billy Preston.
And
the body knows how to heal.
Yeah, and that's what I feel. And there's times where I see people like go some of the other routes, and I've said to myself, like, I kind of just want to stick with the master fast because I feel comfortable with it. I trust the understanding, and I think it's like the understanding of how energy works that like isn't really what is out there all around. And honestly, those other things do work. I just think with the state that I'm in, I don't have time to be like assimilating all this new information, because my body is telling me like, I need you to help me now, not later.
What I've watched in these last 5 years is many experts came out of master fasting now, and they have all the answers now. We have no answers. The answers are from within. But the principles that master fast has put out with a new understanding have been taken by many people and hijacked as their own out there.
I saw somewhere, like I don't remember where it was, but someone the same mixture. It was something
all over the place.
Yeah, I see everywhere people are like, oh, take this mixture of psyllium, charcoal, and clay and drink some grape lemon. I'm like, where did you get that from? Because I know where it's from. Like, it was kind of fun.
People do what they do. We elevate their souls to peace, balance, correct conduct. All we can do. We've went through a year of 2020 of the reasons why we went through the 2020 is because humanity is not living in peace, balance, correct conduct. And we see the reflection of what's happened. We haven't chosen that path, and we're paying the consequences, and we're being muzzled and enslaved, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So until we change and decide to go that route, no matter what, at all costs, we're gonna continue to reap the benefits of imbalance, right? So somebody was asking back to the teeth here.
Okay, hold on. Can I finish with Brittany first? Okay, so Brittany, I highly recommend that you sit down and you meditate on what you want to do. You already know what's going on. Okay, so much you have thought about everything enough. And now I believe it's for you to sit down and just meditate on it. Quiet your mind, sit down, write on pen, on a paper, what you want to do, because only you know what you can do, what level. Okay, you can, you know, some people will always find excuses, not like seriously. They are worried for some reason, or they're, you know, nervous about it, about the master fast, even level 2 or level 1, you know.
Or they've heard
And
something.
that's okay. That's okay. Or they have done a week and then it was too much for them. I don't know. That's all right. You will have to choose. You can choose the hybrid. You can. There are some people who cannot do, fasting right now. They're just too addicted to the food, you know, and they're afraid to let go of the food and then jump on it like crazy because they have done that in the past. So you can do the hybrid. And then when you feel like, okay, I'm ready to grow from the hybrid, then grow from the hybrid. I mean, I believe for you, level 2 or level 3, you know, Steve, for example, loves level, you know, he would say level 3 and up is to see some, you know, significant, you know, achievement according to his experience. So
you got to go to 3, 4.
I agree with that. But if you feel it's too much for you, level 3, then do level 2. That's okay. But start somewhere, okay? Start somewhere. Start a gentle. I don't care how imbalanced your body is. Listen, you come to me, and I'm sorry, we have seen all kinds of stuff. You come to Master Fast with cancer, I'll tell you, do the level that suits you. I don't care about your cancer, you know? Do the level that suits you. Because you know what? You don't want to kill yourself after you break your fast. Yeah. It's crazy. I'm not joking.
It's like my mind going sometimes, where I look back on wanting a balance between eating and fasting, but like I know with what this is at this point that like I don't want to feed it anymore. I ate bad, and I think some of it is like, it sounds weird, but when it's like fungal and it goes everywhere, it almost like controls you. It's like, because you're in that, you know, you're in the.
You're not trusting in your soul. You're listening to your mind, and you're not trusting your soul.
Brittany, you don't need to tell us the story.
We don't want to know.
We have lived it, my dear, over and over and over. Imagine 5.5 years. Imagine 6 years of master fast. Okay, it's enough. We know it. We don't need to hear it. We are not addicts. Okay, we're not. You're an addict if you want to be an addict.
Yeah, we're not. I don't believe we are either.
Do you have the power to get out of addictions? Do you believe you have the power as a human being? God created you. Do you believe you have the power to get out of this? Is just the food. There are so many other addictions around us, you know, in our life. Do you believe you have the power to get out of addictions? God gave you the power. Okay, that's it. That's all you need.
So why do you keep listening?
That's a good start, okay? That's a good start. That's a positive start. Start there. Now sit down and make a program for yourself with Master Fast, okay? Choose the lifestyle that suits you and stick to that. Do I know it? No. Does he know it? No. Does anybody know it here? No. Only you know it. And you know what? How many times did I choose a level and I did not stick to it? Okay, and everybody here, I'm sure, will tell you something similar, okay? Or many people who have done this for a while will tell you, I can't stick to the level, I can't do this, I can't do that. Okay, how many of us, how many times I chose a level and I went off for a while. And then I did a long fast or whatever, and then went off. And how many times, you know? It's okay. Find your balance. From my experiences so far in 5.5 years, I would say if you fall off, it's okay. Be gentle. Be even more gentle with yourself when you fall off. Because you know what? There was a reason why you fell off. It was too much for you. So you love yourself even more when you fall off. It's okay. Just if you are off balance, that's totally fine. That's part of life. We do mistakes. Get back on, okay, as much as you can. That's in my opinion, that's the only way. When you do a mistake in your life, when you, as a kid, you know, or as a baby, okay, you start walking. When you fall, what do? You give up? That's it. I'm not gonna ever walk for the rest of my life because I keep falling. You have to stand up and give back on. It's just your nature, okay? But
When you've done level 2, 3 for a month, then come talk to us. Otherwise, you're just going back around in circles, the same thing over and over, and listening to other people.
It's okay, sweetheart. It's okay.
Advice and this and that. Everything's okay. It's your
Yeah,
choice. It's your choice.
I
We can't make the choice for you.
I know. For some people, it's harder to choose. Okay. Than other
I need to
people.
try to let my mind go because it's like it wasn't like this originally, but when I take like my tea and tinctures or I make an herb blend or just brew herbs, I feel like okay, but I feel like kind of like not toxic. It gets stuck like in my upper body and like I'm not absorbing things and I don't know why. And
Because of obstruction.
that where it's the obstructions. That's what it is. But it's so much that I'm like overwhelmed by it. But I need to just
I have a question. Do you believe you are different from the I don't know tens of thousands of people who have done the master fast? Because I honestly I haven't heard anything of that extreme in terms of like being stuck when they are on the master fast.
Unless there's a physical obstruction that
I haven't
blockage.
heard anything and
that's what I thought was going on. There was a doctor I saw. I told him like I'll feel the urge to go to the bathroom or I'll drink teas and I have the urges, but it gets stuck in the middle. And whatever.
If there's a physical complete blockage, you'd be dead and you wouldn't be around too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to get off that fear. I would listen to this, what I just said, but that's me. It's your full responsibility. Yeah. I would take the risk because what he said makes sense. So I would take that. If I was very afraid, I would take that.
Yeah, if there's a physical blockage, what starts happening is people start throwing up. They can't get anything down.
That's what started is like I would drink water and it still happens like where I would do an enema or I would drink water or drink tea and I would vomit. And so then like I went to the ER. They didn't really do anything. So I went back. I was like, all right, I'll do my thing. I didn't really want to eat. And then I got depressed and I ate and then I was drinking again. And I would when I would burp up, like food would come up. And so I stopped eating for like a couple of days. And then eventually it got to the point where if I'm hydrated, my body was trying to throw up, but it was dry heaving and it wouldn't come up.
Brittany, what you're doing has absolutely nothing to do with a master fast. I absolutely not recommend it. Mm-hmm. Stop eating and then I don't know, and then eat whatever and burp food. I mean, that's extreme. That's torture to the body.
Yeah,
you're just doing whatever you want. And going to the emergencies and God knows what they're giving you over there.
And it wasn't like that originally. Like I was doing okay, but there was something there on the master fast. Parts of it broke free, but every time I went back to eating, I got into problems. But before I was like, there's something in my middle that one lady thought, an Ayurvedic practitioner, like she did some bioresonance and she thought like I had like a massive worm infection. And like, that's what I thought it was. But I was kind of like, okay, well, I'll work with this anyway. But it literally it's like just there. And
Brittany, seriously, do you believe you are different from the tens of thousands of people who we have here helped on the master fast? Mm-mm. Do you believe you are different from the tens of thousands of people who have done the master fast? Do you believe you have something different? So why do you make yourself believe so?
Like sometimes I do. That's where I get worried. There's like, I think it's to a degree of severity where it worries me sometimes.
So is it the most severe you believe? You believe your case is the most severe case? Physically? Do you believe
sometimes
your case?
I don't know. And I think I would be my responsibility if it is, I know that.
Why don't you relate yourself to other people in life? In life, relate yourself a little bit. I know we are all unique in different ways, but why don't you relate your experience to other people's experiences so you can learn and grow together.
Mhm.
Why don't you do that? I would do that. I would totally learn from other people when I start something. If
That's
something
sometimes
is
what I do with like
That's all ego. Sorry, that is all ego.
but sometimes a lot
That's where everybody's problem lies, is in their freaking egos.
like I will do that though. I'll like talk to a lot of people who've gone through something or see like, okay, what am I experiencing? Has somebody else gone through this? What did you do? What was it like? And just kind of like look at certain symptoms and like things that I've gone through and like see if somebody else has gone through it to that degree and then try to find out what they were doing.
It sounds like analysis paralysis. You're analyzing, you're overanalyzing to the point where you're paralyzed and you can't do anything. And you have to make a decision about like, if it's not this, then what is it? Like, what's your alternative?
Yeah, exactly. And
Oh,
4 years ago, come February, is when I first started, and I had to shed all of that same stuff, Brittany, all of those same things, being told all the different diagnoses, told of all the different problems causing my symptoms. And you have to be ready to let go of all of that and leave it behind. There's just one place for that, and that's just in a garbage can. You have to, and it's not, and I'm not saying it's an easy thing, and I'm not saying there aren't insecurities along the way, but if you don't, then you can just continue on that path. You could just stay on it. You could do what they're saying and return to these people constantly for the latest and greatest in names and supplements and medicines and treatment.
Like I don't trust a lot of it, but when I came to try to find out like what was going on with
keep going
me,
back to it though, so there's something there.
no, but when I started like with everything and I was doing okay, and even right before the master fast, like doctors were telling me there's nothing wrong, we don't see anything, there's not anything going on, no one has anything like that. And so I was like, okay, well, I took out Humbart Centillo's herb book and I started learning on my own, and I was like, I'm going to find out. And I just put everything together and started using intuition and feeling into my body. And that's when I started to realize like what these things were. And it was a long time ago, and I did make it through. And it's what Gino said, like you can go miles back, you can do so much work, and you can wind up back where you were 3 years ago in a matter of 2 months. And like that's kind of what happened. If I can just like let go of all of the rest and just trust them, like I think I would be okay. Like I know I would. It's just starting with it. There was one girl who had similar like what I had. She was doing a lot of things. She was doing enemas, and she couldn't go to the bathroom, and she took one antiparasitic, and all of a sudden everything broke free and they all were coming out. And like I don't know, that's like doesn't need to be my story, but I've wondered to myself, I'd rather have done something like that than like stay in the state I was staying in. You know what I mean?
Brittany, sounds like you're looking for a pill.
That's
Not
what it
one.
sounds like.
Not one, just a modality and to go through it.
This is about a lifestyle.
Hey guys, how you guys doing?
Good, you, John?
Hey, John.
How's it going?
Been here.
Hey, you know that guy on the channel who he had a photo of this giant tropical fruit in his hand? You know the kid, he's like a young guy. And he skateboards, and he has like this picture of himself with a giant like tropical exotic fruit.
Probably.
Who's that guy? What's his name?
In a page?
From a couple, huh?
I don't know.
In a Masterfast group?
Yeah, in this Zoom. I was giving him some advice. I'd like to give Brittany the same advice that I was giving this kid. You know, it's like, Brittany, when I listen to you, like I really believe and strongly suggest that you start from a completely different angle than what you're putting in your stomach or what you're not putting in your stomach. Okay. So like, you're not ready to master fast because you're living in your mind so much that it's like what she said, it's analysis paralysis. You're living in your mind, it's okay. But you really need to start from an angle where you're doing like something like this. Like, this is the advice that I gave the kid. It's like, I'm saying kid, but he's like a young man, right? I forget his name. But like, you start from a completely different angle to find happiness and peace and balance and health in your life. You're not starting from the right angle. You're starting from the angle of food and hygienics, but you don't have the discipline to do that, to start to cultivate the idea of hygienics in your diet and in your life. So it's just, you're not quite ready for that. And like, I would strongly suggest that you start from the athletics. So you go into athletics, whatever it is, like if it's going to be yoga, which is like more on the subtle level of the athletic world. If it's going to be yoga, then I suggest a very physical Ashtanga, low stance yoga, where you're busting ass all the time. Or like, say, for example, weightlifting or heavy exercise. Like if you work outdoors, or if you want to swim, or ocean swimming, if you live near ocean, and like winter ocean swimming, like the Polar Bear Club. I mean, like whatever it takes, if you start healing your life from the point of view of athletics and physical exercise, where you're sleeping really well at night, despite of what you're eating, right? You're young, you're really young. You should be able to eat anything and do extreme athletics and sleep well and start healing your life from that angle. So if you start from a subtle energy kind of point of view, like say, for example, fasting, or like taking herbs that are very subtle energies, that where you're trying to balance your body.
No, sometimes it was strong brews and like enemas to like really try to knock it down. I would get pieces of it out and like kill part of it, like not trying to kill it, but the herbs were just for all the organs and stuff.
But Brittany, listen, it's like when I was, how old are you? Like in your 20s, or you're 28? When I was 28, I didn't even know what an enema was. Okay. It's like, you don't need, it's just like, okay, in the master fast, you take enemas, but like, you can move the food that's in your stomach through your body in a semi-healthy way. That's
what I always did. That's where I'm struggling. I just want people to understand that, like, I've been trying to run, I've been doing everything. It's like, it's.
You haven't master fasted. You haven't been doing
No, you haven't done everything.
I haven't been on master fast.
You haven't done everything, because if you were really, truly an athlete.
Not everything. No, just like different things. But I get, like, I kind of pass out and stuff like that. So
well then don't run. That's a long distance endurance sport. You might need to do something more explosive, like a little bit of heavy lifting, like get some resistance training, and get somebody who knows what they're doing to teach you how to do it. And you know, because you're not in a place where your athletic training is giving you enough benefit to reach some sort of state of balance. So that's, you need to just get the base, like a basic foothold in balancing your life, so that you can take a step back and say, oh yeah, I think I want to fast, because like I've been like eating a lot of protein. I've been doing this, you know, crazy routine and exercise routine, and I gained 7 pounds, and like I think I'm going to fast for a while. oh yeah, who were those people? Oh, the master fast group. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Or I think I'm going to do a lemon juice fast or whatever. It's like, you're not going about it from in a way that you can, it's just not viable for you. So you're living in your head and you're talking about parasites and stuff, and you're 28 years old. You really have to change your perspective and your you know, you just have to hit it from a different angle, and you have to hit it hard.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about parasites because I just want to talk about them. Like, there is like something going on, and I was trying to
no, Brittany, it doesn't. No, because you do want to talk. You do want to talk about them because
no, not just to talk about parasites and like make up that I have them. Like, they really are there, like in my stomach.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because if you strengthen your life in one way or the other, make your life very strong, then the parasites are going to start shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and your life is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and stronger. But if you sit there and sit around all day thinking about parasites, you're giving them power. Mm-hmm. And you're saying, oh, those things are parasites. They're different from me. You can't think that way. The parasites are just in your body for one reason or the other. You have to forget about it. You have to not give them any sort of power over your life by acknowledging them all the time, right?
Yeah.
So I really encourage you to go and find your absolute favorite exercise. And like I said, if you running is different, because running is sort of like, it's kind of like a depletion sort of exercise. I don't want to say depletion, but like it's a lot of like endorphins and stuff. And it's like, it's an endurance. It's a long distance thing, but you might want to try something that's more like resistance, like Ashtanga yoga, like really hard yoga, or martial arts, or something that you just go to bed every night tired. Like, you're so tired when you're done with your routine that you just want to sleep for like a day, because you're gonna do better than trying to do this. This is something that's really, you know, it's really hard, and like no one expects like people to be able to just do it off the bat, you know. It's like we're just not ready for it.
We've made suggestions to her to find something as a purpose in her life. Number one, to keep, you know, she loves singing and playing her guitar, and to do that, movement, do that. We've suggested all this stuff for her months ago. Are you doing any of that stuff? Are you moving? Are you playing your music daily?
Yeah.
What are you doing for movement? What have you
sometimes
found a
like
purpose? Working, are you volunteering?
Sometimes like vinyasa yoga, just
Sometimes
walking and other things too. A couple times a week. And then like when I'm working, I'm like kind of moving around a lot and climbing stuff and doing all different things like that. So
what kind of work is it?
I work in a bakery, but I do a lot of stocking and everything like that, and like climbing ladders and moving things and carrying boxes and like other stuff like that. But I started to run because I used to like to, when I was younger, I used to play soccer all the time, and that was like my love for like years. And so I started wanting to do that again. And everything is fine. I just kind of like, I just have to focus because like I'm just obstructed. Like I'm just backed up, and it's toxic, and it just hurts, and it makes me tired. Just even if I'm not doing a lot, I'm just tired all the time. So I need to get it to balance out, you know. It's just very uncomfortable. It's just a lot of pressure.
I believe what John has suggested makes so much sense.
It really does, I think.
To give your mind a little break from the parasites. And again, I have said this before, and I'll say it over and over to everyone, that we have more parasites than cells in our bodies. So start learning to live with them. Oh yeah,
Bacteria.
No, what's parasite? Parasite is any organism that lives in the human body, on the human body. Okay, like I mean, the parasite in
There
our
for a
body,
purpose.
organism that lives in our body. Yeah, yeah, sure. Some of them are feeding on your obstructions, and these are what we normally call, I don't know, like, yeah, usually call parasites, but in science, it's anything that lives on you. What makes them good, or how do you know what's good or bad? If you have obstructions, the more obstructions, the more of these parasites going to feed on your obstructions, right? So it's that simple. I mean, you're complaining. I mean, there are people who are like super toxic out there, and they're not complaining about
Yeah.
parasites. So let it go. There are people who are like half dead, you know, with cancers and tumors in their bodies, and they're not complaining about parasites. You know, let it go. It's okay.
And is it like there are people out there that won't go for a long time, like weeks, months, maybe, like just the bowels just won't come out. So that like makes sense. It feels like there's this like tumor thing in my colon. That's what I've suspected for a long time, because when I feel it, it's like hurts.
Who gives a crap? Who gives a crap? Who, like, why do you play God? Why do you try to play God? That you're talking about a tumor? You're talking about parasites and tumors and all that. Not, who gives a crap? Do you see it?
Well, yeah, and I feel it like with my hands, and like it blocks stuff from coming out past
How
it.
do you know this is? How do you know this is like a bad tumor? Okay, this could be just an inflammation.
How many times have you gone to the hospital? What did they find?
We are all
Well,
inflamed.
they found something called rectocele and an enterocele. It's like this bulge where one of the intestines like drops through into the colon, and it forms a block area, and it makes the pelvis collapse. So they want to do something to like see how bad it is. But I wanted to fix it myself, so I walked away. And like I'm wondering if maybe I should do both things, or just kind of go and do the healing and fix it myself, you know?
Is it like a hernia?
Yeah, it's like an enterocele is like this hernia bulge that drops down, and then the rectocele is like part of the intestine drops back, and it bulges, and it forms this like cyst thing, and it just kind of everything sits like in there. And then
I would get a second opinion for sure.
I want to. And there's also like these things I think I let go for too long, but there's like a prolapse vaginal hernia. It's like this thing. That's probably why I haven't had a period. And like I'm okay with not having periods when I'm well, because like I don't think we need to have them. That's like a theory I have. But
forget about your reproductive system for a bit. Okay, let's talk about your colon.
Yeah,
and find out whatever you just said. When did they find this out?
They found the rectocele and enterocele like earlier this year, and then one doctor found at the end of the year before that, and they wanted me to go to pelvic floor physical therapy, so I started doing that. And then she said, go back to the GI because your pelvic muscles are flexing and working, but there's something going on like inside your intestines. And so I went back to GI, and he wanted me to take Miralax, and I said that's polyethylene glycol. And I would do it if it worked, but it didn't work. And it's also a component I read later. It was like it's used to make antifreeze, it is antifreeze. And I was like, I don't want to do that. Can you just actually correct the structural problem? And if not, I have to do it myself or figure out a way around it. But I think it might have been why my enemas weren't releasing.
I would do what Steve said, get a second opinion and clear this up, because it's enough. You're confused. You're confusing us too, right? We have no idea what's going on with your colon. You know, I have seen so many colons, right? I've done colonics on so many people, and I've never seen anybody who, I mean, okay, there were a few people who were like crazy sensitive about colonics. Okay, it was just a little, it's very uncomfortable to do colonics for them, for me. Because they're very sensitive about it, like mentally, emotionally, physically, everything. I don't know, I can't even tell the difference, right? So maybe 2 out of like, I don't know, a few thousands were like this. Okay. So
We
So
ran across.
if you had something like, you know, if it's similar, then it is very rare. Okay, I have rarely seen people like this, but there are people who are going through, like, I don't know, very sensitive when they come for colonics, physical, emotional, or spiritual. I cannot tell the difference. It's that bad. I have no clue what's going on with them.
Yeah.
Like, there's no anything physical diagnosis or anything, you know. It's just the whole thing is complicated with them, and it's maybe 2 out of, as I said, a few thousands. So there are people like that. I have no idea what's going on here, but find out more. But what I would do is, you are very young, you shouldn't be worried about things like parasites. Nobody should be worried about. I am sorry, okay? You should never worry about parasites, okay? You should never worry about parasites.
What do we say? We thank them.
There is absolutely no reason to worry. If you want to worry about something, worry about the garbage, the food out there. That's what you need to worry about. That's what you have control over, not the freaking parasites. The parasites are by God.
That's why I think it's so
Food
bad.
is
Yeah.
not by God, okay? The junk food is not God's food. The parasites are created by God. So don't try to control things that you cannot control, and leave the things.
That's where I think all my shame is like with the eating stuff.
Forget about that. Why are you shaming yourself? Do you not know how many mistakes all of us here have done?
We've
okay, so why do you feel bad? It's okay.
We ran
you
across...
are doing absolutely like beautifully. Let it go. It's just you're worried. There's no reason to worry. We all, trust me, have done so many mistakes, and we are learning. If we're not learning, then we're gonna have to do the lesson again. Take the lessons over and over and until we learn. Okay.
Yeah.
This is like,
we ran across I think 2 or 3 people that had 1 bowel movement a month. It's hard to believe. But,
yeah, that,
you know,
I've just got to figure it out, like master fast and get it checked out, because I think this thing that I had, like master fast did clear things, like get them to break free. Like I remember in January, but about a year before that, I wasn't eating really bad, but something happened. I remember, like, and they weren't helping me at like the physicians, but I felt literally in my colon, I felt this bulge just every time I kind of bared down, just collapse.
Telling us you're doing deep fried foods and this, that, and the other thing. What's your problem?
But back then I wasn't, and then it started. So I would drink water and I would eat lightly, and then I'd feel urges and like it wouldn't come out. And I told them, I said, there's something like stuck, like something's dropping inside me. And then I got depressed, and that's when I started eating bad, and I shouldn't have done that. But like,
okay, so going back, you are 28 years old, okay? First of all, parasites, please, can you please stop talking about them for a long, long time? Because when you start, you just go crazy. I'm sorry, okay?
Yeah.
So parasites, let them go. On the Master Fast page, let them go. Here, let them go, please. It's too much. What the hell are these parasites, you know, doing? Leave them alone. Leave them alone. It is not your job. Let them go, okay? This is not how you try to get them to go out of your body, okay? This is not how you do it, not by controlling them. You'll never be able to do it. So don't try to fight something that you cannot win. Let it go. That one is not your job. That's God's job, okay? God designed them in a way they will leave you when they're ready. Okay, that's the parasites. Now the food, okay? You know a little bit about what's good and what's bad. Start choosing cleaner. You know, like what I mean is like fruits and vegetables the way God designed it, okay? Choose this food. Like John suggested, focus on doing yoga for healing, okay? Like something like Ashtanga. Do that and really just give it your best. It takes discipline. You're gonna be disciplined. It's, you know, if you're not gonna be disciplined on Master Fast, you'll have to be disciplined in yoga. Okay? Let go of Master Fast for now. Focus on the yoga, get disciplined there. eat cleaner, okay, because you know better now, fruits and vegetables. You can do the hybrid if you want. You can do the master fast hybrid. So you're not fasting for a whole day, right? You're eating at the end of the day, for like within 3 hours.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of cleaning right there. Okay. If you feel like you cannot do the enemas because of whatever you want to figure out with your doctor, what's going on with your colon, the shape or whatever.
I would still want to try the enemas. I just have to put pressure on those points down there, like pretty hard.
I don't know. I don't know, sweetheart. We're not gonna give you any advice about this. That's your responsibility, okay?
Okay.
Go listen to your doctor. He says do enema or don't do enema. Okay. I don't want to. I don't. If somebody comes to me and tells me I have hernia, I would be very worried doing a colonic for them. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's probably what I should have focused on is like, I think Master Fast was something that like I just gravitated right towards, but I think that was going on all along, and I probably should have been prudent and been like, okay, let me find out like what's going on with this before I just keep trying to like force colonics and this and that, because I felt like, okay, well, if I put some soothing herbs and whatever, I can get it better. But
hey, Brittany,
like you
Brittany,
can't always do that.
Brittany, do you have any pain from the so-called hernia?
Yeah, like in my colon and then over in my upper like middle area, it hurts really bad.
It hurts when you move? It hurts when you
Sometimes,
move around or like lift things?
Yeah, like if I'm like doing like lifting, I have to like kind of clench my muscles down there or it will hurt. And the silly thing, because I can let it go now, but the food eating was not okay, because when I actually listen to my body and I sit with it, I'm reacting to like everything I'm eating, not like in my mind. Like I'm actually, this, whatever the root of that thing was going on so long that like now it affected other things too. Like, so I need to just kind of find balance and like get that checked out. And
so look, Brittany, look,
there's a way through it.
If you want to heal, say you did have an actual hernia, right? A textbook definition of what a hernia was of some sort, whether it's like, if you have your colon is hanging down and causing something that's related to a hernia, you have two options. It's like, as a parallel, I have glaucoma, right, in my left eye. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have two options. You can go and you can heal yourself on a system that's very discipline intensive system, like the Master Fast, where you have to put your mind to it and actually do it. You have that choice. Or I could go and get a surgery on my eye and get my eye improved and have some of the pressure relieved by a surgical invasive procedure, right? So I have two choices. So, you know, I'm 59 years old. So like I made my choice. So I can do it and work my way up to doing it better this year than I did last year. So I'm in a position where I actually have a chance to heal my eye of glaucoma. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have these problems in your digestion and in your gut and in your life, you have two choices. You either seek professional medical attention and get treated for hypochondria and for digestive issues and for a possible hernia. You seek professional guidance, or you go the other side of the spectrum and you say, you know what, I'm going to do Master Fast because instinctively Master Fast makes more sense. It's more natural. I understand Professor Ehret's principles. I understand Master Fast. It's more natural. I'm going to go that route. But you only have one choice. You either do one or the other. So right now you're just spinning your wheels. You're not doing anything. about it.
No, I understand that. I understand that. And it's like, if there was a time I had to have, like, I hurt something and I had to have a procedure, but then after that, I like nourished it by like living a clean diet and doing meditation like years ago. And then you change your lifestyle after that. Like, you can't go back to living the way you were, like after you have some, whatever procedure. But if I didn't do that, then it's the natural route. And that's kind of, I don't know where along the line I gave up, but when the doctors like were wanting to help, but not completely helping, I just started learning about herbs and shrinking whatever was there and doing stuff with like herbal enemas, and stuff started to come out. And then these little things came out and it started to lift itself on its own. But it came right
Take a breath.
Eating.
Yeah, you're not doing it. You're not doing it with intention and with resolve. You're not doing it with resolve. You're just talking about it. You're talking about it, and you're trying to figure out where you stand in the actual reality of what's going on in your body. Your mind is not in touch with what's going on in the actual reality of your body and your life. Your mind is not in touch with it. It's okay. It's okay, but you have to decide. You have to make a decision, and you have to live with resolve, or you're not gonna get anywhere. And another year is gonna go by, and soon you'll be 30, and you'll still be tormented by parasites and stuff like that. It's like, when I was 30, I never thought about parasites. I vaguely understood that human beings were capable of carrying parasites.
Me too. I didn't either.
I was playing basketball, it's like all I cared about was basketball and skateboarding. It's like, when I was 30, it's like, you got to get to a stage where you're just happy and like looking forward to stuff and sleeping really well. And coming from the food perspective and from the hygienic perspective, for you, it's just not right. It's not right for you to be coming from this perspective. So you're wasting time and you're living in your head, and you're wasting time trying to come from the perspective of, what am I putting in my mouth? What am I putting up my ass? Like, how much water I'm putting up my ass. It's like, you're wasting time. You really are, because you wouldn't be talking this way if you were really, making progress, and you were on the path.
I think it's just that. I think it's just that I was doing better and actually getting through it, and then I just kind of sabotaged it, and that's kind of what
it's self-sabotage, but it's okay. Yeah. It's really natural. People self-sabotage. We're living in a overpopulated world. Everybody's self-sabotaging now, but you have the knowledge. So you have to transcend all that bullshit and all of this chatter that people are sabotaging themselves. They're cynical. They're you have to transcend all of that and heal your own life, but you're going about it in the wrong way. This is not where you should be. Right now, anyway. Maybe in 6 months, it is where you should be. But you should be doing something different. I've been listening to you for a while. It's not the right path for you right now, because all it does is put you further and further into that downward spiral of intellect. You're a very intelligent person. You're very intelligent. Everyone knows that, but it's working against you. It's self-sabotage. Those are your words. Your intellect is hurting you right now. You're not letting your body heal. You're not doing nature's operating table. You're not really in touch with the principles that Gino's talking about, but it's okay. You're young. It's really okay. You're a musician, you should be coming at it from a different angle, please.
Amazing.
It's almost just, I think I can just leave it at that right now. And I know what you mean. It's just, I have to live a better life, but I just want to feel better, and I need to do the right thing, and just realize that, like, how many more lessons of pain do I actually want go through, you know?
Yeah, but you're not going to sort it out in right now in this moment in a pensive a pensive mood where you're sitting there saying, yeah, I just
No,
need to
I just
do
have
this.
to take
I just need
action. I
to
know
do
that. I have
Yeah,
to
you
get
have
into
to.
doing rather than thinking. Because I could like read about herbs and this and that all day, but only when I started doing things did I realize, okay, this works, this doesn't work. And like intuitively, when my body was stronger, I could kind of feel and smell an herb, and I'd be and read about comfrey and be like, okay, that's going to soothe that. And it would do it. But when I screwed my diet up really, really bad, the obstructions become bigger, and your tapping in is a little different. So I just need to stop thinking and just start doing, and
Brittany,
but not doing blindly, you know, not just
Brittany,
doing to do.
you don't need to do anything. Just let it go. You don't need to.
She's not set up to let
Classic
it go.
definition of insanity.
She's not set up to let it
Do the
go.
same thing over and over and expecting different results.
Well, it'll be fine. I'll figure it out. It's just like I have to come to balance, and when my autonomic nervous system resets, because I felt it do that before, then everything goes and it's okay.
What I mean by let it
It
go,
just needs to like,
this is what I mean, honestly. Be quiet.
Yeah.
Silence. Just that's it. Mm-hmm. Is it easy for any of us to let go? It's the hardest thing. Just be silent. When somebody tells you what to do, like John or Steve or somebody else, be quiet. Listen to your, they're older than us, right? And they have more experience than us. So listen, they're here to give you their time and energy. That's it. Out of respect, we are quiet and we just, meditate on whatever they have told us, if it made sense to you. And that's it. That's all you can do. Be quiet. We're going to keep talking about the same thing over and over and over and over. We have to just take a break. Yeah. Take a break. We don't have to, but I mean.
But it's kind of.
Let's take a break.
It would be a better idea.
Right? Remember, Brittany, this here is for everyone too, right? This is for everyone to share.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to just get
it's okay, Brittany. Brittany, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Look, Brittany, also, the thing about it is naming things too, because again, you're very intellectually centered, and so the naming of things gives power to those things. It's otherness, right? So Gino's always talking, it's a unity, right? Life is a unity. We're just one thing. We're one soul, right? So when you name things, you're giving power to the other. You're giving power to things that are in your environment and things that you believe are inside of you that are causing you harm. So you don't name things, because as soon as you do, you're creating duality and you're giving things power. Yeah. So it's really important not to sit around and talk or think in terms of all of this highfalutin terminology, right? It's better just to say like, okay, it's 8:30. I'm going to go to the pool and I'm going to swim 50 laps. You got to get out of the whole language thing where you're naming everything and talking all about all of these myriad issues that you have in your body. You know, it's what you say. It's very important what you say, right? So
it has like a vibration and a spirit, and it's
Buddhism. It's thought, word, and deed, right? Mm-hmm. Your words are very powerful. So when you say stuff and you start rambling on in this intellectual mode,
it has like, even if yourself. And even if the words were beautiful, the rambling like is like, if you think of like trying to hear music, it just sounds like what it just sounded like. It doesn't sound like music. It doesn't sound like creation, you know.
The silence between the notes is where the music is.
Is where God is. And you know, it'll be okay. I will work through this. I think honestly I was
And
okay
remember,
until
diagnosis is not prognosis, right? Like I have a gazillion diagnoses, but that doesn't mean that that's
it
my
doesn't have
lot
to
in life. I have the power to change.
because
You
like
have
the
the
second
power
you
to
focus
change.
on something, you negate it, you know, and I remember that. And I think I'll figure this out. I was doing better, but it's just some of it's my environment because I honestly, when I'm in tune, I'm usually very quiet and I just kind of like to be in the silence and just kind of like take things in and feel things and not, but there's just a lot of that goes on like around me. And I've kind of turned into a head case and I kind of need to just refocus myself now a lot.
You're doing great.
One day at a
Yeah,
time.
Brittany, you're beautiful and you're highly intelligent and you're smart. Don't even worry about it.
Doubt
You
it.
know, just chill out and like do what you love and like avoid conflict, and you know.
And just not hurt myself anymore either. It's all good. But we should like move on because I took up way too much time. Like it's too much stuff.
It's
know.
okay. Everybody
This
learns.
happens every time.
Brittany, you have to remember that your issues are also very similar to our issues. Everybody has similar issues. Like the
Hey,
core
Brittany,
is similar.
look, this is a Hachia persimmon. So I walked into the store and this guy was making a whole rack of them. There were 8 in a box for $2 and they're perfectly ripe. And like the store ran out of them. And so I got 8 persimmons. Look how big it is.
Oh my
Amazing.
God.
And
That's like a very large.
crazy good.
They're so sweet. They're
Oh
so sweet.
my God.
But there's like
I
another.
got a box of dates in the other day from California.
Really?
Oh, they're so freaking good.
Oh, okay. So you're talking.
I tried getting the ones that you guys get up there in Toronto, but they're sold out. Can't get them.
No, they're firm. They're firm, right? They're like pretty.
These are not. They're very
Oh,
soft.
Mayjewel?
Yeah,
Mayjewel?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
It's sick.
I got 2 kilos, 11 pounds. What did I get? 11 pounds. I got a lot of them.
There's Medjewels and then Medjewels.
No, these are
Don't eat them all in one sitting.
5 kilos.
I think we should
Best
challenge.
price was at that, so. Oh.
We should challenge Steve to eat them all in one sitting, right?
Oh no! Not with his
Go,
one method.
go.
Nah, the binging is almost non-existent now.
Hey, Gino, I did 2 days hybrid, 36-hour dry, 2 days hybrid bookend, and now I'm on the 6th day. So
Awesome.
it's the longest I've done so far, like in the group.
Amazing.
Just keep going.
I feel amazing. Like yesterday I felt horrible and I had like my first, just so you know, to spare you guys the gory details, I had my first mucoid plaque episode.
Beautiful.
Woohoo!
Yesterday. It's like, yippee! Take a picture.
Let's see. There's some.
That thing is gnarly, man.
Oh yeah.
How'd you feel once it was out?
That's the weirdest thing like I've ever seen.
Especially when you get the stenchy ones coming out.
Oh wait.
Well, I looked at it. I looked at it and I was like, wait, what is that thing? And I like got it out. I got it out, and then I was like, okay, it's one of those. It's a baby. It's a baby brown octopus.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
The serpent.
Huh?
The serpent.
Yeah.
They call them aliens.
Yeah, they're aliens.
The
It's
aliens.
like I thought it was all like a conspiracy. I didn't think they existed until I experienced it myself.
It's amazing.
Yeah, we all
It
think
comes out
that.
of the body. Yesterday, I took 2 photos a few photos of two big sheets of mucus that came out of me, long dry.
Yeah, a couple of them come out.
Yeah, it's really amazing what's inside the body.
Body keeps renewing and dumping and rejuvenating, so it's continual. Telbees speaketh of the
Speaking
teeth.
of teeth,
You have heard of a method which the system to grow back? Absolutely, yeah. People growing back teeth. Victor Truviano, he grew back a whole set of teeth, third set of teeth. But that was, yeah, once he stopped drinking liquids. He went to complete breatharianism. And it was a 7-month process, I believe, he shared to
extreme pain,
get rid of all his old teeth and grow in a perfect set of the teeth on the third set of perfect teeth. So yeah, we've heard stories of people, you know, cavities repairing and this and that. How serious are you about regenerating your teeth? That's what that's what's going to depend on. We know
usually, you know, the problem when somebody has pain, then it's like an emergency. They have to do something, right?
Yeah. John Baker, hey John, Happy New Year, you guys, and Happy New Year, Henry, and Rockus, hello Rockus, Sheila, hello. So yeah, it's the teeth is we've been talking about for a while, you know, is the biggest challenge for everyone, but it's only a reflection of what's inside. So if there's big challenges with the teeth, you got to do some work. It's the only bones that a reflection where we can get a picture of what's happening with our bone structure, I believe, the teeth. So if we have really bad teeth.
What do you mean?
Well, you can't see any of your bone structure with the teeth. You can. So they're exposed. So it's a reflection of the teeth, yeah, of the bone structure.
Yeah. There's also like the shape of your cheekbones kind of indicates something, right? Like you can do facial analysis.
Yeah, facial. That's the skin tones and the lines. There's all kinds. You can look it up and see that. Some people are really good at that. I just say, let's keep it simple. Doesn't matter what we have. It's in balance, and let the soul do the work. And, you know,
so much easier.
Let's keep it simple and make it more simple because
we can never get it right, anyways.
Yeah.
If you look at Steve, Rana, and Gino, it's like their forehead. Like you guys don't have any wrinkles or crevices in your forehead at all. Your forehead is really smooth. And like in Buddhism, they say that like when you practice correctly, like you get like a very smooth forehead. And like in macrobiotics too, they talk about the shape of the forehead. Like I always notice that.
I think it's a sign of constipation to have the lines.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Lots of things change.
So many changes.
When you start purging, lots of things will change.
Everything changes.
The lifestyle.
Yeah,
it's bloody. It's hard, you know. You know what? I just did like 5 or 6 days on hybrid. I was eating delicious fruit, but it's really, even that, like it's really hard, you know.
If you believe it's hard, it's hard.
Well, I'm not saying I believe it, but it just, at the time, it just, you know, it just feels hard, you know. It's like sometimes you're just like, shit, I woke up and I have to like I'm dry all day, you know. I mean, for me, that's hard. I don't know how else to say it.
Keep practicing. Plug away at it, that's all.
Yeah.
So what's
Yeah,
different when you do it, when you level it like that? What's different? So you're doing
you're asking me.
until you eat, right?
Pardon me?
You're doing a dry until you eat? Like you wake up, you dry fasting?
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you're planning on day 3 to do a dry fast all day and then go to bed and then wake up and break it at noontime the next day, I'm just saying that preparing mentally to do that, for me, that's the hardest part. I mean, dry fasting is kind of like the showcase of the whole process, and it's definitely the hardest part at first anyway. I don't know, because I love fruit. I love fruit so much that, like, all I can think about is fruit when I'm on a dry fast,
Yeah.
But
Discipline, right?
Yeah,
You get into the second or third day, how that just goes away.
Yeah.
yeah, well, I'm on day 6 right now, and I feel like
dry. I'm talking dry.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just talking about
Consecutive.
I just
But even
decided.
on full, but even for me, when I go into the full MFS, usually it's by day 3 that all that stuff just starts melting away.
Yeah.
But that's full. That's not hybrid, no food.
You guys are discussing kidney filtration and stuff. Once that's things start changing when you start seeing kidneys opening up energetically, and you'll see big changes happening with that. And
I was wondering about the massaging, like, because I was reading in the protocol today, and it was talking about the massaging, and so I looked up the massaging points, and I guess they're on the front ribs, according to like that link you had, I think.
Kidneys back here.
You can the point. You mean the actual kidneys? You can massage right into the kidneys.
Yeah, but that's hard because it's like.
Yeah, if you get a stick, if you get a longer one than that, so you can grab it. This one broke on me. And if
like
you get
this burnt stick.
Yeah, and just shove it into the kidney and work into it. Like, don't go really, really hard, but do it so you have some discomfort that you can handle.
Okay, he goes really hard when he did it on me, like really, really, really hard.
Yeah. And how do I know, like, where the kidneys are? You said under the rib, the last rib.
Yeah, under the last rib. If you go to anatomy and search.
Yeah, I know. I've looked, but I don't know.
It's your belly button. It's like behind your belly button. It's
belly
like
button?
The same level.
Yeah, I think mine are really tender.
Yeah, that's it. If you get your
thumbs
and
you can also.
Yeah, you'll feel them. They won't hurt if you massage them deeply.
Yeah.
You can also take. Okay, so go into your upper buttocks and your hip joint in the back, and feel all the tension that's in those latitudinal muscles that are in your hip joint. And you start, because those are under your kidney, so like a lot of people are super tight there, and then if you massage there, like you get one of those S things that like you use for like massaging your back. It looks like an S, and then you start kneading away at those hip joints, and then that helps your kidney because it's underneath, opens up the fire because it's underneath your kidney. That's what Chinese medicine would say.
Get the chi or the
and jing. You said to do it clockwise. Does it matter?
I don't know.
Something is overstimulated, you go counterclockwise. That's usually the other way around. We need more help, so we do it clockwise. Does it matter? Everything makes a difference.
Yeah.
So play with it.
Well, because I can't figure out which way is clockwise. If like
you're
it's
looking
facing.
At the clock?
Yeah.
Clockwise.
it's easier. It's easier just to, Shelley, you should just learn the yoga poses that are for the kidney and start doing them, because there's a whole bunch of different stuff like spinal twists and like poses where you're you know, like the yoga world. I mean, sitting there trying to massage your lower back, it's really hard, you know, to do it yourself. You can use a lot of like in yoga you use pigeon. So pigeon is going to open up your kidney, and there are a couple of ways you can do it. You can actually do it lying on your back. So just look it up, like different poses.
Yeah, I know how to do pigeon. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's easier than like with it. I don't know.
I don't remember in my back. Literally did it with the back. If I had the kidney.
It works fine.
Spinal twists, any kind of spinal twist in yoga. Get the kundalini going.
But the stick is nice because you can get right in there, and you know, like, if you get a rolling pin and do your legs, you know, you can really work into it. But then you have all the other acupressure points of kidneys. They're all over the body that you can look at the charts there.
The chart I looked at had them on the front here, and I did notice they're really like on the side, but they're really tender there too. So I think they need some love.
You can do poultices. So like you do a ginger. You can use ginger if you want to do things that are topical for your kidneys. You can use a ginger poultice, or like you massage it you actually massage it with ginger, and it, like, because the tissue is so fine that like it actually gets in there. But like the master fast is, you know, that stuff is going to work faster, like if you just start fasting. But like spinal twists.
The best way
pigeon.
to help
That's what.
Is to clear the best way to help your kidneys is to clear your bowels, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's gonna be
#1 tool.
It's through a fasting lifestyle, not just washing and eating.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm fasting today. Dry fasting tomorrow. I'm gonna do 3 days this week. I'm gonna do, because Steve spoke so highly about the wet, dry, wet. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I've shared on my older videos about the massaging kidneys and the points and stuff when I was in Italy, I believe. And watch some of those if you can find them. They're around somewhere.
I've seen the rolling pin video, but I don't think I've seen on the points. Yeah, I'll have to look for it.
Yeah, but like the charts, you know, help you there too. So there's lots of stuff you can do. Like I've shared my story about major kidney challenges for years, and what broke free for me was when I was my awareness opened up about dry fasting and started implementing that through the master fasting lifestyle. Really focusing on cleaning the bowels deeply and opening up the dry fasting more and more and more. That's what made the big changes. But this is you know, decades of going through all this. Now all the information is available, so everybody has all the answers. But when I was going through all that, there was no answers anywhere that I came across. It was all trial and error stuff. And it was awesome. Grateful for all those experiences. What's everybody's watching here?
Pain is dealt with. Did manage to save one of my vampire teeth. The rest of my bones are pretty strong, by the way, Luigi. Yeah.
Well, you know, how do you know that your bones are strong?
Yeah.
There's people who've thought their bones were strong and had a little fall and snap So what I'm saying is the only reflection we can get is visually is through our teeth, and it's probably one of the first things that starts deteriorating before the bone structure, because the body has intelligence to get rid of the least important things first. So your teeth are not needed. You don't need to eat, so get rid of those first before it starts deteriorating the rest of the bone structure generally. But if the teeth are starting to go, then you know you gotta start to make some changes before other things start to go. But you know, through X-rays, you can see the density of the bones, and they have tests and all that stuff. If you're interested in that, but I say don't waste your time. Just live the lifestyle and make changes, and you'll see what happens. When bones from birth are crooked and they straighten out, then you see that everything's possible.
So you said that the bone that your body has the wisdom to know that the teeth are the least important, so they'll just shed the teeth
before it destroys the rest of the structure. Yeah, unless you're in a really serious obstructive state, then you know the whole everything starts falling apart. But the teeth will be the first signal. You know, women that go through pregnancies because they say the child's taking a lot of elements, whatever, and then they start seeing challenges with their teeth. They start getting cavities and stuff. That's common.
Yeah, because that's interesting. That you're saying that, like, okay, the body knows that it doesn't really need that much food anyway, so it's just gonna like tell you to get rid of the teeth.
Right. That's the way I look at it.
That's interesting.
You know, it's just, that's the information that I get. I may be wrong. I've been wrong before. Teeth that lack of decisiveness. Yeah. I've been going for 44 years. Nothing broke. Yeah, okay. Well, then that's fine. Just
yeah, but
we're just talking generally. There's how can you know? Like, have you ever seen people doing arm wrestling and then your arm snaps?
Oof.
These people are, you know, they're practicing with strength training and so on and so forth.
Yeah, it's hard to know unless you had a fall.
Snap.
And see how fast we break our bones, you know.
Yeah. I haven't broken a bone. I broke one when I was 1 year old. My parents told me. I fell out of the bed. It was my collarbone. I don't know which one I can.
You fell out of bed as a kid?
Yeah. That's the only bone I broke.
Finger.
I broke my collarbone.
Never got
I broke my collarbone playing football. I've broken so many bones.
Really?
Wow.
Just shitloads. Like, I broke my collarbone playing football. I've broken my arm like 3 times.
Wow.
Hematoma, broken fingers, broken toes.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Not fun.
Okay, well, thanks so much. I'm glad I got to check in. Thanks a lot, you guys.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Cool. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go and like break my fast right now. My cleanse. Thanks a lot.
Good to see you.
Welcome.
Bye.
Take it easy. Bye.
I'm glad happened to come across the video. Ciao. It was nice to see you both. Awesome.
Yeah.
Shelly's asking about smoothies, I think. Yes.
Yeah.
Why not smoothies? Smoothies are eating, Shelly.
No, I mean in your eating window.
Oh, if you're gonna eat fruit, just eat the fruit. Don't bother doing smoothies and stuff.
You're processing the food.
Yeah, if you want to do some green smoothies, okay, you can do green smoothie because the greens are much more difficult for us to break down if we don't chew well, like myself.
I just don't like I don't like winter fruits. Like I don't like persimmons. I don't like pear. Like I like summer fruits.
Like apples?
And so I just buy like frozen berries and I just blend it with some.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
just blend it with some like grape juice. I blend it with some coconut water. Very simple, like berries.
That's okay.
Yeah. There's nothing you like in the winter at all?
I
No
like
citrus?
oranges. I like oranges. I eat a lot of oranges, mono orange meals. Yeah.
Yeah. It's no big deal having a smoothie here and there, fruit smoothie, but honestly, it's best to eat the fruit. If there's nothing available, yeah, okay, do the smoothie with the frozen one.
But why is that? I'm just curious.
Why is that?
Like
things change when you blend them with machines, right? We got the electromagnetic fields, you have the blades, and so on and so forth.
The food.
It starts changing as they start breaking down differently. So oxidation and so on and so forth. Best is to eat the fruit.
Okay.
And also for the
I've done smoothie for years.
There's a reason why we are meant to chew the fruits, right? We're meant to chew them, to mix them with our saliva rather than drink.
Yeah.
Them. Now the grape juice is another story, but it's all for,
we're going into higher order.
Right?
Well, yeah, I know you're supposed to chew your smoothies too, right? But do I? I don't know.
Yeah, but how can you really chew it? It's not going to be the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so try to go as natural as possible.
The saying is, chew your liquids and drink your food, meaning you have to chew enough times to make it into a liquid.
Oh, yeah.
I don't follow that rule very well. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do well in the winter with the fruits either. So.
Oh, I'm not alone. That's good.
Yeah, well,
I'm a summer fruit guy for sure.
We do the best we can. Like apples are, apples.
That's all I'm eating now. Different types of apples. That's all, because they grow here, and they taste good. And I eat once a week.
They're not growing now. They're in storage.
Yeah. I know, but still, they have them like in big.
I know. Yeah.
I know. It's not like my apples. But
make it work.
Apples store well.
They store well all year long. They would sell them locally. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they taste good.
Well, I got it stored. I just made applesauce on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might have cooked.
Persimmons look good, but
persimmons are always good.
But they're not local.
I've never bought a ripe one. I don't know how to pick them out. I buy them, and then I wait, and they never get ripe.
Put them in paper bags and with an apple.
Okay.
There are different types.
Yeah, if you get the vanilla ones, you can eat them like kind of hard, but the ones that John showed,
yeah, I bought a bunch of those. They weren't good.
They have to be really, really soft. So you have to just keep them in there and let them get soft. Like those in Italy, they fall off the trees and they stay all winter. They don't rot. Because their winters are not like ours, but I'm just saying it's a winter fruit, right? It comes in
they're like jam inside. Like you just pierce it and then suck it, like it's awesome. It's like jam.
They're just if you can't eat those ones there when they're not ripe. They're very stringy.
I tried. It was disgusting.
Yeah, they need to be.
It's not meant to be.
It's like almost like a jam, like just beautiful sweet jam. That's what it comes out when it's ripe. It's awesome.
Especially when it's like from the local, right? Like in Italy.
Oh yeah, we had the wild ones there. There's the little ones, same type, but buying cases for what, €1 or €2.
It was amazing. It was like heaven.
Yeah, it's awesome. But yeah. So we're going for the Friday nights now, and let's see how it goes. I think Friday's a good day.
Thank you for the move.
You are
the time start. Appreciate that.
I'm sorry we had to move it. I'm sorry, but yeah, no, thank you guys.
I just got to figure out what I'm going to do on Saturday nights.
Yeah.
Been here for the last 2 years.
5 years for us.
Actually, 2 days. 2 days will be 2 years.
5 years. So we'll have figure out what we got to do. But yeah, you know,
Yeah.
We'll do some more family stuff and so on and so forth. It's something that everybody needs to do, especially with what's been going on. It's very important. Family. We
spend more time.
The only family I have is my sister, and she is making me crazy. I know no one can actually make you crazy. But I was reading today, like I was going through all the protocol and stuff and the frequently asked questions. I don't know where I saw it, but you talk about like only giving people love, and like, I mean, maybe I'm giving her tough love, but I'm trying to set some really clear boundaries with her, because she's just like, she's a nightmare right now. She's always a nightmare. So it's really challenging.
It takes time. You're changing your lifestyle. You're new to this, right?
Yeah.
I guess you changed a little bit with raw food before, right? So she was already, you know, now it's more, you're changing more for her. And so she needs time.
Yeah.
You have to keep loving her and showing her that, you know, nothing will come between you and her.
If it was easy, you'd see every member here.
No, but what's coming between us is her drinking. That's what's coming between us.
Okay, yeah.
Because she's drinking.
Steve knows all about that. And I have a little experience. It's the demons.
It's really challenging.
You're not going to change that.
So she's over drinking?
Oh,
yeah.
That's putting it mildly. Yeah.
You have no control over that. There's nothing you can do, nothing you can say.
No, but like when I wake up in the morning and there's, you know, a whole bunch of drunken text messages from her, like.
Delete them.
Delete them. Delete.
That's you.
Like, don't even look at them?
Nope, delete them. Detach. We call it detach with love.
The demons are talking.
You have to detach.
Is she getting
she will own you. Take my word for it. We take hostages and we don't let them go.
Rana, no. I've even said to her, I've said to her, like, you know, in a not so good moment of mine, like, don't call me until you're in therapy. Like, do something, like, you know, and she won't do anything.
And follow through though. No, you have to follow through on what you say. Because do you follow through? When you make a statement like that, do you follow through?
I end up feeling guilty. Like, I feel like that wasn't the right thing to say.
Not what I asked. Do you follow through?
Well, I can't make her go to therapy. I don't know what you mean.
Correct. But you continue the contact. You understand what I'm saying? Don't talk to me until you're in therapy. It means I want no contact with you. So do you follow through? Do you cut the contact?
Keep your word.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Like,
it's either a yes or no. You either cut contact or you don't. I don't want to sound hard, but I'm just telling you this is what it has to be. But
yeah, like.
So you either continue having contact with your sister or you don't. So which is it? You tell her not to contact.
We've had very, very sporadic contact.
But you allow the contact. And she exploits that because that's a coping mechanism for her.
Yeah.
So if you're going to make those statements, you must follow through.
Yeah. So she can respect you, right?
Well, it'll never change.
Well, I want her to respect herself, and you know, and
not
then
going to happen. That's not up to you. Not see again. That's not up. You can't fix her.
You guys are doing.
Fix her, you cannot help her. You cannot. You didn't make her drink. You can't make her stop.
Yeah, Steve, you guys are doing meetings.
She's the only one that can make that decision. Nothing, nothing. Believe me, nothing you say or do will force that decision. Nothing.
You guys are doing them meetings virtual now?
Yeah. I've been.
So, I don't think it's the same, right?
Huh?
Not the same.
It's kind of, it's been a, for me, it's been okay because I connected with my old guys I got sober with, which I have not been, not that I'm not in contact with a lot of them, but not in a meeting, you know, like that. So actually, it worked out to my benefit.
So more people?
No, just the people I got sober with. Because I moved. The people I got sober, because I live in a different town from where I got sober. So my whole meetings changed, and they were definitely not up to par. Where I am now, they're not up to par whatsoever. So it's not been too bad for me.
That's great.
I've known these guys for 25 years this year.
Oh, okay.
So it's
all righty, it's only us.
I think should.
There you go.
Let's just have a quick prayer and
yeah.
So let's continuously elevate all the leaders' souls to peace, balance, correct conduct, and so that they may only move in that direction, or they will not be able to function in their physicality if they don't move in that direction. And let's continuously send PLAF into the MassFast plasma bank, and so that people can draw on that anytime they need to automatically. Let's elevate the soul of the planet, that, you know, humanity will also move in the direction of peace, balance, correct conduct, will also treat the planet, the earth, with that respect as well, of course. And we will elevate each other's souls, that 2021 will be the year of the change that we want to see, and continue to move in that direction. So thank you all again for joining us. It is now Friday night live Zooms instead of Saturday, and Shelly's rejoining us. So she must have hit.
She got disconnected probably.
Yeah, Shelly, we're just closing down now. You got disconnected.
Hold on.
You're muted.
my battery ran out.
Okay. Yeah, we just did a little prayer, and we're going to be closing up.
Okay.
We're almost at 3 hours, so let's call it night, and we'll see you on Wednesday as usual.
Oh, big day down here on Wednesday.
You won't be there?
Oh, no, it's a big day here Wednesday.
Oh, the 6th?
Yes, sir. Hopefully there's 1 million people in Washington.
Hopefully, let's see.
Hopefully.
Peace, balance, correct conduct. Let's.
The House is going to install. They do their vote.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Interesting year.
I don't think it's going to go through. We'll see.
We pray.
People are waking up.
I hope there's 1 million people in the street. Let me tell you.
Yeah, people are waking up. Even though they're wearing masks, there's people waking up. So that's a good thing. And this is the year we're going to start implementing these changes coming forth. I feel it.
I think he prevails. I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you again.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good one.
It was nice
Ciao.
catching up.
Bye.
Bye.